He is be in the room with real people kind of learner. So he loves the live online classes with our language experts.
Okay, class. Voz está pronto. Estamos prontos.
However you learn, Babbel makes it easy. Try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Carnegie Hall and folks are real New York. Coverage of the 2025 inauguration of Donald J. Trump on 77 WABC, sponsored by Balance of Nature. Get a wide variety of 31 whole fruit and veggie ingredients with Balance of Nature. See, smell, and taste the difference for yourself. It's Ocean Drive in Coney Island.
Ocean Drive is the only luxury rental in New York with spectacular ocean view. If you wake up in the morning and breathe that ocean air, I'm certified that you're going to live 10 years old.
Here we go. Let me see.
If you have worked hard, you deserve an apartment.
I'm talking my little radio. That's so blurry here. So what's all the focus? Autofocus, bro. What's going on with the autofocus? There we go. Wow. Anyway, listen to my radio. Early morning radio. There we go. Oh, get my water. Let me shut off this light and I'm gonna turn on my let me see. It's too bright. Wow, this is very bright. Can I have that? Not right now. I'll put on the color light too. Yeah. There we go. Let me put this mouse away. And good morning, everybody. I'm located here in Yonkers, New York, USA. And I didn't schedule to come on, but I'm going to be on for a little while. I got a couple hours free right now before I start cleaning the rest of this. Today I decided I'm going to clean this basement out right here. So, and then maybe later on today, I'll probably join the live stream on another channel. I don't know if I'm going to do that today. I just wanted to, I was going to touch on a couple of topics pertaining about yesterday. And it's unfortunate, but, these things, anyway, I'll talk about it in a few. I guess I'll talk about it depending on who's on, and I'll talk about it. Particularly with someone that, for example, Tasso. I don't mind talking to him. Tasso's actually, he's one of the few people that really understands this whole live streaming thing. Gotta give him credit. Gotta give that kid credit. He's a smart kid. He's a very smart kid. I know if you're listening, Tasso, I don't mean to put your spotlight on you, but he's a smart kid. He has a couple of live streams going. He started his channel. Right now he has one channel that's about 500 subs, I believe. His radio channel, but he has some beautiful pets. He has beautiful birds. He has a beautiful cat named Linda. I don't know if he has another cat. I always see Linda, so I don't know. Maybe when he comes out, he'll give me the rundown of all the pets that he has. And which is nice. And he has a nice channel, and he has a nice following, and he has his niche on that, and that's cool. And that's what and that's what I'm trying to emphasize here, that when we all make a YouTube account. I'm just gonna get into it. What else? I'm talking to myself anyway. I've only got 2 people watching. When we all make a YouTube channel, I made my first YouTube channel a long time ago. I can't remember exact date. It might have been 2008. And at that time, when I made my channel, I made it because I wanted to watch videos. Because you need a YouTube account to watch videos. Well, you don't really need it, but if you want to comment and stuff like that. That's what I mean. So I made my first channel many, many years ago. And then I was like, I wouldn't mind, because I got a taste of it on Stickum. Stickum is like a YouTube channel many years ago. It's no longer around. And Stickum, you can do live streaming. This is many years ago. This is before live streaming was before YouTube did live streaming. And I always wanted to do a show. I always wanted to do like I always wanted to do a show. I joked about that with a guy, friend of mine. We're no longer close. We're no longer in touch now. He whatever. And but me and him used to, me and him used to hang out a lot, and we would drink, have beers and play video games or whatever, or watch movies or whatever, or doing other stuff, watch downloading files and all downloading. But he was a guy that I went to college with, and later on he became he I don't know if he retired now. He became a New York City police officer. He went his way, and I moved to Yonkers. I got married, and I moved up here. And but we and him used to always have this dialogue, and we were always making jokes. And we thought, I threw it at him. I say, we should do it like a podcast. And this is early in the infancy of podcasting, because there was a couple of popular shows that I kind of really connected to. One of them was Dig Nation. For those of you that don't know what Dig Nation, this is back from the original. There was a channel called Tech TV many years ago, and there was a couple of personalities in there. One was Kevin Rose, and there was another guy, Alex Albrecht, or I forgot his name, Albrecht something. Anyway, his sidekick. He became his sidekick on Dig Nation, but Kevin Rose was he was a handsome-looking guy. He's a smart guy. He's a geek. So when they started that Dig Nation thing, and their setup was like they sit in a couch, like a sofa, and they just talk about whatever topics are happening. They could be tech related, it could be news related, and they get the and they I guess because Kevin Rose he owned Dig.com, so they came out with that Dig Nation podcast. It was very popular, and it was good fun to watch. So that's when I got the bug to do a show. I always, I said, man, I of course, I'm not as good looking as Kevin Rose, not by a long shot. But when I would talk to my friend, we would throw stuff back and forth, and we would, like if I could record that, maybe I should have, but I didn't. If I could have recorded that and play that, because I used to watch a lot of morning. I'm not a watch. I used to listen to a lot of morning, radio shows like Howard Stern and Opie and Anthony, Howard Stern, Ron and Fez, and I used to listen to that, and I kind of, I always saw myself in a cast. I always saw myself like I could do that. Maybe my own show, and I have somebody, and I could go back and forth, even and not sports related. I thought about sports related too, but I meant more like just not only sports. Okay, sports for example, but the lighter side of sports. Funny stuff for sports, and also touch on some other topics about it. I heard about that. That he might have relaunched it. I need to look into that. And good morning, James Farley, and good morning, RRT08. I think I might have saw that. Maybe it was a year ago when it was. I heard some rumor about it. I think I read an article or somewhere. I forgot. Thank you for reminding me. He did relaunch it, right? Oh, okay. I need to look into that. So I always wanted. So there's 8 episodes. Okay, so it's new. Or he relaunched it and whatever. Anyway, I have to look into it. But I'm gonna say still not the same probably not the same as the original one. Because the original one, they were like rock stars. Because then they had meetups. They would go to one place, and there was like I think at one time they had almost a small arena. like, I don't know, maybe a few thousand people, you know. But getting back to the topic, um, you see, I'm doing this ad lib, so I'm sorry, people. I'm just ad libbing here. I don't have a script. I don't have a sheet. I don't have a sheet in front of me. But my point is that this is something I always wanted to do for a long time. You know, I wanted to, you know, I'm going to talk about the idiot that posted something yesterday. I'll talk about that too. I'm going to give him his 15 minutes of fame. What I'm trying to get at is from the early going, I knew when I created my YouTube account, my first YouTube account, and many years ago when I did that, I just uploaded a couple of videos that I downloaded off the Kazaa, whatever, blooper stuff. So basically, I re-uploaded something that I downloaded. It wasn't my content. And I got a couple of views. It was nothing. But I always, I just never liked. I always wanted to make my own content. I always wanted to create my own videos, my own content. I wanted to create my own videos, my own content, and somebody would want to watch it, even if it's only 100 people. Maybe that video gets 100 views in a year. You know, I would say, you know what? But people, I created that. I uploaded that. I created that. And then finally, I got into the radio hobby back. I got into the shortwave listening hobby back. And then I stumbled upon a few channels. And then one channel was Tom's Radio Room. And then Jill's official SWO channel. And then I saw the way he was, when he, his videos I enjoy his videos, and they're very informative and all that. But what really hit a chord with me was the live streaming. Here's a guy that live streams about shortwave radio, and tune the band or whatever, and shortwave radio, and he has an audience. And he's just being him. That's one thing. That's one thing that I gravitated toward Jill's, is that he's him. He's him. He doesn't hide who he is. He likes to have a drink or two, and that's cool because I love to drink. I enjoy drinking. I enjoy alcohol. I enjoy So I could connect. I connected with him, and that's when I decided to do my channel. And I said, you know what? I don't want to say I studied them because I don't want to sound stalkerish. I studied others. I studied him and I studied others. I said, okay, I see his early video. He started just by posting radio related. People actually like watching radio receptions. So I said, I'm gonna do radio receptions here in Yonkers from where I'm at, and people can compare that to where they're at. And that's what I did. I started making radio reception videos. And I got a couple of views on there. It was fine. I didn't get, big. I didn't get nothing big. I just got views. Hello, Theo. I hope you're doing well. Nice to see you, my friend. And glad to see you too. Long time no see. And so I started making reception videos. And then I watched other channels, and there was another channel that I saw. He was a guy from Florida. He had some old Halicrafters written on, not Halicrafters, Hammerlin. I think he had a couple of different Hammerlin radios, maybe a national. He might have had a Halicraft. I don't know. Anyway, he had old tube radios, and he lives in Florida, and he was DXing Cuba. So he was listening to medium wave Cuban stations. Now, I'm Puerto Rican, of course. I love Cuban music because it's just like Puerto Rican music. Basically, it's the same. So something nostalgic hit me on that, something that probably my dad would have listened to before he was even born. He probably had a tube radio in Puerto Rico, or my grandfather even. And so that channel, I sub to his channel, of course, because he has a few videos that he's tuning, Cuban stations, picking up medium wave. and it sounds so good because it's that old classic Spanish salsa like music or rumba or whatever coming over a tube radio. It sounds so beautiful. It's like, man, you can see and he actually turned the lights in the room, and you can see the tubes, the glowing of the radio because the tubes are inside all glowing. And I decided, I never owned the tube radio, and I went out and bought two of them. I went out and bought two radios. I bought two radios. I went to a Craigslist ad, and I got two radios. And I even got a multi-band receiver, but that's not two. Anyway, two new tube radio. My Halicrafter SX25, and it was the other one was the S32. And I made a video on that, and that was my first talking video. That was the first video that they didn't see my face, but I actually was talking about the radios. My first talking video. And the response I got that was great. People, because when I heard my voice, every time I record, I would hear my voice. My voice sounds kind of weird for me. Sometimes it sounds squeaky. Sometimes it sounds, I don't know. I was conscious of all that stuff. I was very conscious about all that stuff. Forget about the way I look, my beautiful smile and all that, whatever. But my voice, I was very conscious about that. But it was received well. People liked the tube radio purchase, and I got nice comments on it. And then the next videos I made were band scans. I was talking and tuning. Those videos actually did very well. Then they were at that time they were my top watch videos at that time. I got very good. Basically, I did tuning the bands, except it wasn't live. So I did it must have been like an hour-long video. I shot it. I bought a tripod because I had to buy a tripod for that. I put my phone on a tripod, and I'm tuning the bands on a tube radio. And that's when I got confidence. I got confidence, and yeah, you know what? I'm here to stay. I wasn't ready for live yet. I wasn't ready for live because live is a whole nother animal for me at that time. But I was making content. And then shortly after that, I made a few more videos. And then, of course, I was approaching 100 subs. And then Jills gave me a shout out. He made a video for my channel saying to check out his channel, my channel. And I went over 100. And, and one of the people that subscribed to my channel earlier was Marriott the Extra, Oxford Shortwave, Sandy Jagger. I haven't seen him in a long time, and I hope he's okay. And a few others, And they have their own channel, and I noticed that none of them done the live stream. They all do their reception videos, So I was in this group of people that we do videos and all that. But I always wanted to do live stream. That was my thing. My thing is I always wanted to do live stream. I was not gonna stop until I can do live stream. And let me tell you something, it's not easy. It's not easy doing live streaming. It's not easy doing live streaming. What I mean by that is when you do live streaming, you better be sure that you can handle any criticism or trolling. You cannot let things bother you. If you let things bother you, then you shouldn't be doing live streaming. You know what I'm saying? Then you're not ready for it. Or you're not ready for it right now. Yeah, but my point is it took a lot for me to get here. Theo. I'm extremely shy. I was extremely shy too. Theo, I'm extremely shy to do to live stream. You're excellent live, Danny. Love your live stream. Thank you. But it took a lot to get here. I wasn't born. I want to be a live streamer. If you ever see my first very live stream, I was nervous. Even my second one 2.5 years ago, I was nervous too. And and I had trolls come in here. I had trolls. I made people mods right away. I had trolls coming here. I even have right now. I have for the last I don't know how long, for the last few months, whatever it was now. My live streams are all subscribers only. So that means you have to be a subscriber to my channel just to be in the chat. Today I put it for 20 minutes because yesterday I had somebody, and I'm gonna address that idiot in a minute. I'm gonna address I'm gonna address that idiot one more time because I was when I started the live stream yesterday I was talking about another live stream that I was in. Let me lower this down. That I was in. Was I critical of him? Yeah, I might have been critical of him, and I'm sorry about that. I'm not sorry about being critical, but I'm sorry that I hurt his feelings to the point that he deleted his channel. Because I found that out this morning. I went to see if he was doing a live stream, and I noticed he deleted his channel. You know, he deleted his channel, and he was doing very well. It's just that that day we were gonna do. This is why I'm not crazy about collaborating with people because collaborating. Is that the word collaborate? If I have trouble pronouncing that name word, please correct me. Collaborating. So I went to his channel because he had put out there that he's gonna try to make contacts on 10 meters. Him and another channel. I'm not gonna put name. I'm not gonna say names here today because I already offended or hurt this guy's feelings, and I'm sorry about that. So I'm not gonna say any names. Please don't ask me what channel. You can guess or you cannot. Or don't guess. You're just gonna have to look back at the whatever that I spoke about yesterday. The point is that he announced it that we're gonna make the contact on 10 meters. We're gonna make contact on 20, but we're gonna make contact on 10. And I said, okay, I'll be there. Right? I'll be there. Now I know unlike me, we have a time zone thing going. I had to be here earlier, so I went ahead and made plans night before. I'm not gonna be up too late because I want to make it to the live stream, and because I did want to make contact with the other person that was gonna be on, and I pointed out certain things about what happened. And I said it. He got sidetracked by one or two people. That's criticism. That's not an attack on a person. If you take that as an attack, then it's on you. It's on you. That's my point. It's on you. You know, constructive criticism is one thing, but if you take it as an attack to the point where you delete your own channel, then I'm gonna say once because I said it before. This happened to a couple of people. This happened to I'm gonna say one channel, Two Hands on a Radio. He got trolled. He got trolled over and over. The way I deal with trolls is I ban the shit out of them. That's it. I don't give them the time of day. When you say something stupid, you get banned. That's it. That's how I deal with it. There's no dialogue with me with trolling. Now this is not trolling. This is one channel person, one channel me, this channel trying to help out another channel, and because what's gonna happen after today, I'm not gonna talk about another channel anymore. I'm done. I'm done because apparently He took it personal. He took it personal. He deleted his channel. I hope he brings back his channel. You know, I hope he brings back his channel. It's a shame, and I'm feeling guilty about it. I'm feeling guilty that I was the cause of that. But I'll be okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Because you know what? At the end of the day, I feel guilty about it, but it's not gonna stop me from my channel. And I'm gonna say this: what I said about two hands on the radio. The minute you post content online, whether you do live or you do videos, whether you do live or you post videos, you're a public figure. You're a public figure. That means your face or your voice is out there forever. Forever. You cannot undo that. You cannot undo that. Okay? My videos are copied all over the world. I seen Filipino YouTube, fake, I don't know, some mom and pop guy making a YouTube platform, and they have my videos on there. Danny Shortwave and Radio DX on the radio section featured me. But it ultimately links back to this page. It links back to my YouTube. There's always a link to my YouTube channels. So I don't go after them. I don't go after them. I don't go after them because there's too many. I have Russian YouTube sites. Like I don't know whatever Russian YouTube sites. There's many of them. Have my images all over. Russian search engines have my images all over the place. You know, I'm worldwide. I'm gonna say I'm worldwide. I'm worldwide now. I'm a public figure, whether you like it or not. You're a public figure. That's what happens. The minute you post video and you do live stream, you're a public figure. That's it. With that comes criticism. Remember, I tell you, this is a metaphor for life, people. This is a metaphor for life. Not everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody's gonna think that what you do is perfect. No. People have the right to criticize you. Also, people might not like certain things about you, or they might not like the way you do a thing or two, and that's fine. That's fine. My channel's not perfect. Believe me. I get people all the time, and I'm gonna address the troll in a minute. The troll that came on here yesterday, he was just trolling, but he brought up a couple of points that I'm gonna address because it pertains to this channel. So let me read the comments here first. Good morning, Glenn Dansler. I hope you're doing well. Happy Saturday morning. Glenn Dansler just updated the software on Pi 4 and install a life alert device. Okay, cool. Pi 4. I mean, I haven't. I'm looking at which Pi. Anyway, I still gotta find that netbook so I can do that ham clock thing on a netbook. That's the next thing. Theo, it's okay, Danny. It's done. At the end of the day, you got to continue. Yeah, I know, but the thing is that this person was doing a live stream, and I talked about it yesterday. I said that he should have not given up on this particular. I don't want to rehash the whole thing because it's yesterday's live stream. And today, when I go to look at his channel and just see if he's doing live stream, I can stop in there and say hello. He deleted his channel. I found out. I saw his channel's been deleted. I'm like, because that's the first thing I thought about. As soon as the live stream was over, I thought about, I hope he doesn't get offended. And apparently, I guess he did. To trigger to the point where you delete your channel. I find that to be mind-boggling. And he had his channel longer than mine. I've been doing this channel for 7 years. Approaching 8 years. I don't want to go that far and say middleman, but because because we were like we were like in the same boat. You see how I just kind of stuttered there? We're on the same boat. A lot of us are shy. We whatever. Okay, same way I was very shy, very shy. When I was a little boy, I was very shy. I came a long way from that. So he's in the same predicament that he's shy and all that. But this is not a troll. This is a one colleague to another. Giving him constructive criticism. And he just deleted his channel for that reason. There's no other reason why I could think of, unless somebody trolled him yesterday and he went ahead and deleted it. I don't know what happened to him. So I'm assuming it had to be me. It had to be my video, my live stream that we talked about, that I talked about with, and it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. So I'm gonna say it. If you have a channel, if you have a channel and you post stuff, you're prone to criticism. Whether you live stream or not, you're prone to criticism. And I had somebody come in here yesterday and told me, and he wasn't vulgar about it. So you know what? I'll give him credit for that. I'll give him credit for that. He wasn't vulgar. He basically said that I do the same thing every day when I come out to live stream. I just yap. He put blah, blah, blah. That was his word. I blah, blah, blah. I put FT8 on. And I talk about shortwave. That's it. That was his thing. Blah, blah, blah. And, maybe he's another YouTube. Maybe he has another channel. He came on a different account. He's just trying to rattle rattle the cage. I don't know what it is. Whatever. My point is, and I'm going to say it again with the live stream. Number one reason why I do live stream is monetization. I'm gonna tie that with 1 and 2. Actually, the reason why I do live stream because I enjoy it, but monetization. YouTube requires us to get 4,000 viewing hours a year. Okay, right? We need 4,000 hours. We need 4,000 viewing hours in 1 year to stay monetized. Now, in my case, my uploaded videos, they don't get as many views as I would like, of course, because you remember, you're competing with a lot of people. In this, even in a radio hobby niche like this, amateur radio, shortwave listening, there's a lot of competition. What separates me from other radio channels, except for the ones that are streaming, is that I'm streaming. Streaming hours, especially when you put a lot of streaming hours, add up to viewing hours. So for those of you that have a channel that's over 1,000 subs and you want to get monetized, and you say, "Man, I have all these videos, but I'm not getting viewing hours." Well, I figured it out. For me, it's live stream. I get plenty of views on live stream, enough that it goes over. I get enough views on my live streams that I go over my viewing hours and I stay monetized. I could live stream every day, multiple times a day if I want. I just choose not to right now because my viewing hours are fine. I just checked it last night. I checked it last night for the last 365 days. So the last 365 days, I'm almost at 7,000 viewing hours. So I'm way over the threshold. I'm at 6,900 and change viewing hours. So I'm already way over the threshold. But YouTube requires that you have viewing hours. YouTube requires that you have viewing hours, and you have to upload a video at least, I think it's every 30 days. So the fact that I do a live stream every week or every two or three times a week or whatever, that fills both quotas. That's what keeps me going. Because if this channel was not monetized anymore, I would not waste my time being on YouTube anymore. I have a TikTok account that has 20,000 followers on it. Now, TikTok, we're not going to know until tomorrow if they're going to be banned for good here in the United States. We're not going to know that. We're not going to know that until tomorrow. Probably till midnight. I'm going to keep an eye on that because I have TikTok. I have 20,000 people on TikTok. I have a sponsorship waiting for me on TikTok. TikTok contacted me. They said we want you to advertise TikTok shop. We'll give you commission to sell products. But I can't. To TikTok, I won't know until tomorrow what's going to happen with TikTok. But I prefer YouTube. I wish I was getting more views and more money. And thank you, David Davidson. Thank you. What's going on with my? What the hell happened to my camera now? What the? Just had a focus fart or something. I think it's the water bottles in the way. Sorry about that. David Davidson, thank you. Let me. Thank you for that. Reply. Thank you very much, my friend. I hope I spelled everything correctly. Thank you. So, thank you, David Davidson. Older guys put put too much stock in the internet. I'm millennial. I get trolls. Just keep it moving. Someone deletes their channel. Keep it moving. Yeah, I know. But I known this guy for a long time. He was actually one of my very first, supporters of this channel. That's why I'm making this video. I hope he watches this and reconsiders. That's my point. So I hope he watches this video and reconsiders. I mean, I can contact him on other means, and I probably will afterwards. I'll contact him anyway because I just found this out, and I just want to, I wasn't gonna come on today, but I'm addressing all these issues today because I don't want people to think that I was being mean. You know, it was my criticism. Now again, at the end of the day, again, people, is my opinion only. When I said my opinion about what happened, that's my opinion. It was my experience. Because, like I said, and I don't want to rehash the whole thing that happened. When I went to that live stream, I felt like he gave up too easily. Exactly. Thank you, Theo. Very nice of you to do that. I'm sure he'll watch it. I'm sure he'll watch it, maybe. I'm sure he'll watch it, and I hope he does watch it. And I hope after he watches it, he brings back his channel and move on. That's it. Don't let one person, because I want to help him out, and I'm trying to help him out. And I was the one that told him, if you want viewing hours, I say it all the time. People make videos on this stuff. I'm gonna tell you something. When I made so many, I gave people here so many tips. There's people that make videos on that alone, and they get hundreds of thousands of views on the same tip you're getting for free with no clickbait. And that's the same thing I told Tasso when he starts his channel. When he started his channel and he wants to do live streaming, I told him. If he ever wants to get monetized, it's not a secret, but I'm gonna say it. The secret to getting viewing hours is live streaming. You have to live stream. That's how you gobble up all these hours for live streaming. And then what happens they don't count that. By the way, YouTube does not count that. YouTube does not count that during the live. So right now it's live. They're not counting these viewing hours. It's after the live stream. The replays, anytime somebody replays this live stream, that counts as viewing hours. That adds to the viewing hours to the channel. And that's what keeps this channel monetized. Okay? And that was my tip to him and my tip to a lot of people. I could make a channel alone on how to grow your YouTube channel. and I'll get plenty of views on that channel. Believe me, I'll probably get more views on that channel than this channel, because that channel is going to be mainstream. That's for anybody that wants to start a channel and live stream and even eventually make some money off the channel. I could make a channel on that alone and it'll blow it up. But I offer it here to people that, like, for example, I know Bobby, for example, I know Bobby for a long time, Bobby Burgess. Trying to help him out. I told him, you want viewing hours? You need to get, first of all, you need to get 1,000 subs. But he live streams often. He live streams a lot. So he already got that part. He's already getting that part, the viewing hour part. At least. Now he needs to get 1,000 subs. And there's other channels, same thing. I know Keegan, same thing. And some of them, they take the advice. Some of them don't take the advice, and that's fine. All I try to do is help people. And trust me, there's a lot of channels that don't do that. They don't help people out. They don't, how you say it? What's that? I don't know what that saying is. In Spanish, we call it echar pa'lante, like lift each other up. Like like, for example, if my channel grows and I see this guy's channel, I want him to grow with me. I want everybody to grow with me. I don't want to forget where I came from. No, you need 1,000 subs to be monetized. So you're already way up there. So the viewing hours, you need 4,000 every year. 4,000 every year you need to be monetized. And that's hard for a lot of people because some people don't get views. I don't get a lot of views on my videos. A few videos I got in over 10,000 views. I got one that got 30,000. I got a couple of them that got 20. But they don't add up to the 4,000. What's going to get you 4,000 viewing hours is you got a live stream. You got a live stream. Because people watch that right away. If they miss your live stream, the people that miss your live stream, they watch it again. And sometimes people that come on the live stream, they miss a part of it because some of my live streams are long. They got to come and watch part of it, even if they skip through it and whatever. But they got to watch it. And that's how you get the viewing hours up. You got a live stream. You got a live stream. Unless you got videos that blow up. Unless you got videos that get like crazy views. Like if you post a short that gets 1 million, I don't got that. I don't got that magic. Not yet. Not yet. Not saying it can happen. I always believe it will happen one day. I always believe that someday it's gonna happen. I'm gonna have that one but there's gonna be that one video that's gonna skyrocket. And come along for the ride. That's what I'm trying to say. So, and that's what I was trying to convey I was trying to tell him. And yeah, and was I critical? Was I a bit critical yesterday about it? I was, but that's who I am. I'm not gonna say here. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that it was perfect. No, it wasn't perfect because I pointed out a whole bunch of things, including the main thing was when I said that is that he got focused on one particular person on the live stream and forgot about everybody else, including me. And and the subject of the live stream was to address this part, and he dropped the ball on that. And that's what happened. I made it clear about it. And I guess, he just shut down his channel. And that's what I'm saying, that you have to, when you decide you want to live stream, number one, you have to take control of your live stream. Right now, like I say, I got moderators here, and I don't put up with nothing. I don't, I've been called every name in the book. I've been called a Nazi. because I was doing election coverage. I've been called names. I've been called everything. I had somebody on Facebook threaten to come over here and kick my ass or something. I better watch my back. I had all that shit happen to me. Okay, and I addressed it right here. People watch me from day one. They told me I addressed it. I told that guy, not only you know where I live, but I know where you live because you're a fellow ham. And I put his call sign up. And I said, just like you looked me up on QRZ, I looked you up on QRZ. So if you, and I told him, if you send me another message, I'm gonna report you to the FCC, and you're gonna lose your license. And this is a guy that's a general license amateur radio operator. And I told him, you send me one more message from another fake book account or whatever, Facebook, because he had a couple of Facebook. He was sending me messages, watching my back and all that crap. And I told him, I said, one more message. I snapshot all that stuff, and I was gonna send it to the FCC. I was gonna file a complaint on him for harassment. Because the problem with your FCC license is public record, so anybody can look you up. That's not no secret. And that's another thing too. That some people about amateur radio operator stuff. Some people don't like that aspect of it. That I don't want to register. I don't want an amateur radio license because I don't want my address to be public out there. And you got some of those people that never register for a license, especially some of the CBers you talk to. Some CBers, that's their main thing. Is that they don't want the information out there. That's it. I don't blame them. But me, that's not gonna happen. I said, no. You send me one more message. I already got a screenshot of everything you have. I'm gonna forward this to the FCC, and I'm gonna file a complaint on you for using FCC database or QRZ to harass me. And that's what I did. And he stopped. That's all it took. You can't back down. You can't be afraid. He could have rattled me right there. He could have rattled me, and I would have shut down my channel. But I didn't, because you know what? It doesn't rattle me. And that's the point I'm trying to say. When you have a channel and you do live stream, you cannot let anybody rattle you. I'm sorry. You cannot let nobody rattle you. If you let anybody bother you to the point when you delete, in my case, almost 8 years of work because of one comment, then you know what? You shouldn't be on YouTube. You should not be on YouTube. Then you're not ready to do live streaming and all that. You're not ready. Stick to uploading videos. Do you understand? Just like Twins in the Radio. He deleted his channel. He came back. He has a channel now. It's growing again. He left a comment on one of my videos, and good for him. I hope he. But right now, he still hasn't opened his comments anymore. His comments are closed. It's disabled. And you know what? I'd rather see that than nothing. You know what? At least he's back. So and he faces critics about that. And that's fine. I would have never deleted my channel. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna delete my channel for nobody. Nobody's gonna run me out of here. So like somebody yesterday put that, like I said, that I just blah 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 blah. Again, I'm gonna in a nutshell, I'm gonna talk about my channel. My channel is all about anything. I know my first name, it says Danny Shortwave and Radio DX. Danny Shortwave, because when I started this channel, it was about shortwave. It was a lot of shortwave listening. But I quickly realized when I came back into the hobby, there was other radio stuff that I wanted to do. Right after I started making my shortwave videos, if you guys remember, I bought a scanner. I bought a scanner radio. That was my first scanner ever owned. So that N Radio DX, that pertains to everything else. That's why when I created that title, I made sure that it's not only Danny Shortwave, but any other radio in the future and the Radio DX. And I was always a medium wave DX, so that covers the N Radio DX. Of course, there was always a possibility that one day I may even do amateur radio. That happened later on, 2 years ago. Finally, 2 years ago, I got my license to be amateur radio operator. And like I said, if people that follow me from day one know that when I got my license to be amateur radio operator, I was not gonna be on single sideband every freaking day. That is not who I am. Not that I'm shy. I'm not shy about that anymore. I'm done with that. I'm not shy about talking on the radio anymore. It's just not for me. I'm more of an FTA guy, digital. I'm more for trying to learn CW now. I'm in the process of getting my setup for the CW thing. I'm more into that. I talk on DMR. That's something else that I found out about DMR radio, amateur radio, talking to people around the world. That actually helped me for single sideband. So now I can talk on single sideband. It actually helped me in terms of, for example, the etiquette. The etiquette part of amateur radio and all the Q codes. All the Q codes. I have a right here. I have a tin. I have a tin of that. I'll show you. I'm transparent here. See, I have a tin of all the Q codes, things like that. The phonetic alphabet. Of course, I had to memorize it. Now I memorized it enough. I now memorized it. But when I first started talking in the beginning, I didn't have it memorized. I was sometimes I would forget like particular letter. You know, but now I memorized it. So with DMR, since I was talking to a lot of people on DMR, quickly I memorized the phonetic alphabet. So by the time I started doing single sideband, I was already proficient in some of the basic Q codes I was proficient with, and also the phonetic alphabet. I was proficient with all that, and also I don't want to call it the format, right? The signal. Like when I contact you, depending on the conditions, and not only depending on conditions. Like for example, on a weekend where there's contesting, that's not right. That's not a time to write you. That's a time to just you give them the signal, your QTH, your name, and you get back your signal and blah, and move on. That's it. So you got to know when to, and then there's times that you could just rag chew or talk a little more, like you want to give the person a local weather report or whatever, that's a whole nother thing. So you got to distinguish on that. So of course DMR, prepared me for all that. That's the way I went, because I had a little mic fright. I'm not gonna lie to you, I had a little mic fright in the beginning. After a couple of times, then I was good. But the more I talked, the more I memorized the phonetic. I wasn't like, especially when you talk to more experienced operators, they of course they know their stuff, and you go in there and you're like blah 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 blah. No, so I memorized my phonetics. I was fine. By the time I went to single sideband, I was fine. In other words, it's an evolution. Things evolved from the time that I started my first video on this channel to now. I acquired a lot of knowledge. I learned a lot from. If you watch my very first video to now, I learned a lot, a lot, a lot. I learned. Okay, you can put this in a college course. That's how much I learned. I learned a lot. I learned a lot about bands. I learned about conditions. I learned about what type of radios. I learned about there's all this stuff. I learned so many things in the last close to 8 years now. So when this guy posted that thing, I just come out here and blah 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 blah. I know he was trolling. I know he was trolling. And that's why, I have my reason why I do the live stream. And I do my live stream because number one is, like I said, is I enjoy what I'm doing, but also I have to do it for viewing hours, you know. And I think most people on the live stream, the ones that are here regularly, they appreciate the fact that I come on live and I talk to them. And because this is also my time to connect with my subscribers, you know. There's a lot of channels out there that have a lot more views than I do have. When we're talking about people that got millions of subscribers, millions of views, and some of them never do live stream to connect to their audience. That's fine, because you know what? They're making their money. They don't need to connect to their audience, whatever. That's the way they feel. Me, the opposite. I always want to connect to my audience. That's why I do it. Now, is it just talk, talk, talk a lot? Most of the time, it's going to be a lot of talk. Other channels too. I know the channel that I go to every well, not I sometimes I miss his live streams, but a lot of it is talk. We talk about radio stuff. It's not me just doing stuff all the time. Is we talk about radio stuff. I guess this guy has an unrealistic expectation that I'm supposed to be tuning a radio all the time and talking. Like, that's not what this channel's about. Because if you do that, you're gonna bore people right away. If you just come out here and be like the train, if you're gonna be here like the train seal and just tune bands, and by the way, it's gonna be the same stations you listen to every day. It's gonna be boring. My stream is not about that. My live stream is not about that. My live stream is to connect with everybody. They can tell me how they're doing. I'm just connecting with my audience. That's what this is about. It's not about anything else. Now, I may fire up a radio here and there and tune something. Yeah, if I'm in the mood or whatever, I do that. But I have to live stream too, because if I don't live stream, I don't make money. I'm at that point where if I don't live stream, I don't make money. If I don't make money, this channel is dead. You see what I'm saying? Because I'm way beyond. I have other channels that I could put more time into, and they'll be way successful in terms of numbers. But this is my baby. This channel is my baby. This is the channel that I started with. And I have a personal connection with a lot of people here because they were here from day one or close to day one. And that's why this channel is special to me. I may get another channel in the future and I may go to 10,000, 100,000 subscribers. But this is my baby. This is this is the one that I started with. This is the oldest kid. This is the firstborn right here. That was a channel. So this is the channel that's special to me. So this channel has an affinity for that. We're gonna talk about everything, and some of it is not gonna be about what especially when we get into topics like politics. And I welcome that here. I don't care to a point. I don't want it to be overwhelmingly, but there's times like in the third hour, like right now, I'm about to hit the first hour. Usually by the third hour, anything goes. For me, that's the way I have my live stream structured. First hour, we'll talk about any radio related stuff that you guys want to bring up, or I may want to talk about. Second hour is a mix of both. By the third hour is anything goes. If there is a third hour, and most of the time, my live streams usually average about 3 hours. I try to average 3 hours on a live stream. I figure that gives me enough to cover for the day and for the next couple of days, and I don't overlook anything. And then, that's what I usually cover. Now, sometimes I have different events like Super Bowl and all that I could be out for longer, and that's Super Bowl related stuff. And we'll talk about radio there too. But my point is, it's just my way of connecting to others. That's it. Now, there's other channels that are real specific into like when they do a live stream, it's not about connecting with their audience. It's about just, technical stuff. And that's fine. If you want to go there for that, you can. Nothing's stopping you from going there. But this channel is not about that. This channel is about a guy that moved from the Bronx, settled in Yonkers, started with one radio that his wife bought him for his I believe it was for his birthday. I can't remember, so long ago now. And I got back into the hobby. And I decided to make a channel from that. And this is like my journey. You understand? This is my journey from that. Even when I travel now, I travel with a radio and I listen to other stations around, wherever I travel. So this is like my journey. This is like a what they call a vlog of my hobby. So I get people all the time here. I'm getting back into the hobby. What should be my first radio? The best radio you can afford. That's my advice. The best radio you can afford. Fortunate for me, my wife can't afford. She bought me that radio as a gift. It was a $300+ radio, and that radio got me going, and it started this channel, and I'm very grateful for that. That radio started this channel. It is my Grundig Satellite 750, and I still have it today. I would never sell that radio, despite of whatever. I would not sell that radio. I would never sell that radio. It is special to this channel. So, and that's what this channel is about. So when somebody trolls in here about that, all you have to look is as soon as I went to his channel, he has no videos, no, maybe 1 or 2 subs. Probably his own mom subbed to his channel. Who knows what the hell happened? Or like I was making fun of him yesterday, probably his girlfriend, the girlfriend that was being funny about that. But what I'm saying is that what, you can't let those things bother you. But I wanted to address it because what, that's my point to the person that deleted his channel. You got to look at yourself in the mirror. If this is something you really want to do, then you do it. If you're just doing the live stream because you're trying to fill up hours and you don't really want to do live stream, because if you're not comfortable doing live stream, then don't do it. Don't do it. That's my point. Because I also noticed the here's my pronunciation. See, this is why I'm not perfect. Nobody's perfect. I'm not perfect when I talk. And I'm college educated. But sometimes I can pronounce certain things. Hesitancy. There you go. Or reluctance to live stream. Because sometimes I see it in his face. But I understand why. And I didn't tell him that. But I understand he's nervous right now doing it. But when I said that yesterday, it's not for you to take it personal. It's not for you to take it to heart. It's just when you do a live stream like that and you're inviting people to tune in and you're going to contact them, you have to be committed. And that was my main criticism about that. He wasn't committed to making a contact on a particular band. In my case, 10 meters. Him and the other person that was there, they were not committed to making a 10-meter contact. That was it. And that was my overall criticism. And I felt like I wasted my time there that morning. And that's why I said that. And now again, it goes back to what I'm saying. It is my opinion. It's not for you to take it personal and delete your whole body of work. So that's not on me now. That's an underlying issue that he has. Now maybe I don't know, maybe he was tired of because I know he contemplated a long time that he wants to do changes. And that's another thing. When you start a channel, you're always evolving. Always evolving. I'm gonna pause for a minute because I want to read comments before they get really out of hand here. Before I fall behind. So thank you for watching. And 1 hour and 3 minutes in the books. Please smash the like button. Thank you, and thank you for watching. Yeah. Theo, it's okay, Danny. It's done at the end of the day. You got to continue. Yes, exactly. And I don't want to. I'm not gonna. It's not that it's sensitive. It's just that some. Like I said, I when I started this channel from the beginning, I wasn't live streaming from the beginning. It took about year number 6, year number 5 for me to start live streaming regularly. I had to overcome that. That's my point. Some people never overcome that. It's a fear, it's a phobia, whatever you want to call it. Some people just can't. I can be abrasive. I admit that. I got that. I got that later on in life. That's another thing about me. I can be abrasive. Part of that is military. When I went in the military, I was just I never left. When I went into the military, I left home. I never left. I was let me sorry. When I went to the military, that was my first time away from home. I was wet behind the ears. I had a small group of friends around the neighborhood. Now now I'm in Texas, where it's hot, it's dry, and now you're getting drill instructors screaming in your face for any little thing. It's an adjustment. And there's two things I could have done. I could have said, I could adjust it and graduate, or say, I can't handle this and go home. And I didn't do that. I didn't quit. I said, no, this is part of the training. And I stuck it out and I graduated. And that's what happens. You have to decide. You have to decide what you want to do. And say, you know what? I'm going to do this, and that's it. I don't care what anybody says. And whether we agree or disagree, that's fine. But this is what I want to do. And that's it. And there you go. Yeah. Glenn Dansler, what you talk about is why you have a loyal fan base and a great chat. Thank you, Glenn Dansler. And that's what I'm trying, because I said from the beginning, I would like to do a radio show one day. So I feel like some of this is an audition for your future radio show. That too. So if I ever go for an interview for a radio show, I want to show them, look, I've been live streaming here, and I do live stream without a script. I can do 3 or 4 hours. I can do 5 hours. I've done as many as 6 hours or more. And this is my body of work. This is another reason why, because I would like to do broadcast radio. In some point, I should have, of course, now I have the courage to do it. Now I'm doing it. Better late than never. Some people start late in their life, a new career. Whether it's radio broadcasting or something. So, I found a niche now that I try to model on. Some of it is radio that I listen to, radio shows that I listen to every day. So I appreciate that. Thank you, Glenn Dansler. Theo, what I love about this channel is that you keep it real, raw. I love real people, not into edited videos. Keep it up, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. Theo, very nice of you to do that. I'm sure he will watch this video. I hope he does watch it. I think he will watch it. Theo, I forgot that you need 2K subs to be monetized. How many hours does someone need? Is it 4,000? Yeah. So it's 1,000, because they changed it recently. Actually, you could get monetized with 500 subs, but not the ads. The ads that come on, like the video ad or whatever, those you need 1,000. You need 1,000 subscribers minimum, and you need 4,000 viewing hours each year. So it's not 4,000 viewing hours and that's it. You need 4,000 hours a year. So when you sign up for the monetization, it'll tell you if you check all the boxes. Like I know, Theo, you already have how many thousand subs you have now? You have more than me. I just hit 5,000. I know you have more than that. So you probably already have viewing hours too. So you apply for that and you get the ad. Then you have to do the whole. In my case, Google payment. You got to give them your information for tax purposes, because if you go to a certain amount, it is taxable. Like for example, I had to do a W-9. I forgot what it's called, W-9 when I first, and that's it. So because that's how you're gonna get paid. You're gonna get paid through they don't mail you a check now. They use electronic now. So yeah, so it's 1,000 subs and 4,000 viewing hours a year. So you already got the 1,000 subs because you're way over that. So you need to look at your viewing hours. Like, you know, you know how right now I have mine set up for every 28 days. You got to put it for 365 and see if it adds up to 4,000. If it adds up to 4,000, then you can apply, and that's it. Plus, when you apply, it tells you it does the check marks. Theo, yeah, yeah. No, no, no. You can ask questions here. I'm glad to answer them because I'm here to help people too. I'm here to help people because people think that it's fourth. What happened to me the first time this is the second time I've been monetized. The first time I got kicked out because the first time I got to 4,000 hours and I got monetized, but I got complacent. I got lazy. So for a year, I started, I would upload a video once a couple of months or whatever like that. Plus, I got sick too, my voice, and I couldn't make videos talking. And I got kicked off. I got dropped because I went below the 4,000 hours. I went down to like 2,800 hours or something, and I got kicked off. So they say, in order to, once you get to 4,000 hours, you can reapply. So that's when I started live streaming. That's when I came back and said, you know what? As soon as my voice got better, I'm gonna start live streaming, and that's what I did. And it took about 3 months. I was hustling. I was cranking out videos and doing live streams almost every other day. And I got to 4,000. I reapplied and I got accepted again because I knew how hard it was to get. So I know how hard it was just to get back to 4,000. And now I got to keep it there. So that's why I try to be on at least once a week. But I try to be more than that. Like, there's weeks. Lately, I think the longest I've been without streaming is like 6 days or 7 days. And then I'll stream. But now I've done two in a row. Maybe tomorrow night I'll probably do one. I don't definitely Monday I'll do one on another channel. But this channel, maybe I'll do one. I don't know, tomorrow again. Maybe I don't know. Because they add up. I try not to go too long. I took a little break in the winter time, Christmas. Actually, I didn't because I did one on Christmas and New Year's. So I didn't really take a break there either. You know. So and again, when you do a live stream, you don't have to show your face. If you don't want to show your face, that's fine. You could do a live stream just talking, maybe point the camera something else at a beautiful scenery or something, and just talk. A lot of people think that when you do a live stream, you have to show your face. No, I want to show my face because you know what? It's just something that is more for me. I like people see that. You know what happens the first time I did live stream, I had all the ratings behind me. People don't care about me. People started asking me a lot of questions about what's behind me. Danny, what's that radio there? Is that this one? Is that this one? You get more conversation from that than anything else. Nobody care about me. They want to know what that box. Yeah, yesterday, Castle. Danny, what that box with the blue light is. And I spent about 30 minutes explaining about all that. And then I showed them the security system. What's that antenna back there that's sitting there? That's the that's the MFJ 1886 loop, my second one that's just sitting there. I took it off the roof. You know what I mean? Like people ask you all this stuff. That's content already. That's not, you know what I mean? That's conversation for the live stream. And I got all these boxes here for all the radios that a lot of radios that I bought over the years and so. So I got boxes for. So people ask me, "Oh, you have this radio? Yeah, whatever." Huh? I see you collect boxes because I collect them because if I ever want to sell them again, I can put them back in the box and resell them. That's why I have the boxes. Also, if I ever move, I can put them back in there for storage and that too. So yes, 4,000 viewing hours a year. Let me continue reading and then I'll finish my point here and then I will talk about something else. So yeah, Theo, I hope this is not a stupid question. I only have a 40 meter dipole. And I want to talk on 20 meters. I can't add another wire to my existing dipole. Just seems complicated things. Thanks. Theo, might just buy new antenna easier. Okay, I'm gonna answer that in a minute. Thank you, David Davidson. $5 super chat. Thank you. Another one. Wow. Thank you, David. Let me heart. Thank you for that. And again, thank you. Let me type. Okay, I can't comment now. I let it expire. I'm sorry. Anyway, I gave you a hard I got a 60-foot dipole for shortwave. Do I need to adjust it every time I listen to different bands, or can I set it at 60 to listen to HF bands? No, you don't need to adjust when you're receiving the tuner. No, for receiving you don't need to do anything. For example, I have my end fed is 80 feet of wire connected to a 64-to-1 onion and to this rig. For listening, you don't do anything. Whatever the antenna picks up, that's it. It's resonant, whatever. Because you're just receiving. It'll receive whatever it receives on it. That's it. There's no tuning. That's the only time you tune is when you want to transmit on it. That's when it's critical to match it to whatever. But for receiving purposes, no. For listening, you don't do nothing. So 60-foot dipole for shortwave, that's nice. That's a very nice antenna. You'll be able to listen to. So 60-foot dipole, that means you can listen to pretty much the whole shortwave band, medium wave band, probably even into some long wave band. You'll be able to listen to it no problem. There's no need to adjust anything. Okay, so you're fine. You don't need to do anything. That's a nice size dipole for listening. So you'd be able to listen to the whole shortwave band with no problem, and even up to some VHF even, you'd be able to listen to it no problem. So yeah, you don't do nothing on that. Theo, let me answer Theo's question. So you have. Let me go back. I'm sorry. So you have a 40-meter dipole. So that means it's tuned for 40 meters. But you want to talk on 20. Is that what you're saying? That your dipole is tuned for 40? Or is a 40 meter in length? I don't understand. Because here's the problem. I'm going to explain to you my problem. I'll explain to you my problem with my setup. Like I said, so it's tuned for 40. Okay. Yeah, so this is my rule of thumb. It already happened to me a couple of times because remember, I'm new to amateur radio. What I mean by that, this is like my second year that I got my license, but I noticed it twice. FT991A and my Zygo G90. The same antenna. My antenna is 80 feet of wire, a sloper. 80 feet of wire on a sloper, right? 64-to-1 onion. Both of these rigs have an auto tuner. I can tune on 10 meters, no problem. Click, 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 boom, works fine. 17, 15, 10, 12, 15, 17, 20, no problem. 30 meters, no problem. The minute I get to 40 meters, that's what I'm getting to the point. You're stealing my thunder, bro. You're stealing my thunder. Now, the minute I get to 40 or below, it has a problem. So now I know that my antenna, that 80 feet of wire, the slope is pointing up like 30 feet on the top of the sloper. It works well for those bands. It works perfect. It works perfect. Now, if I want to tune 40 and 80, I'm going to have to do a couple of things. I asked a couple of people. one person I asked was Oxford Shortwave log. Clint, I asked him, Clint, my antenna works well for this, but I want to do, if I want to listen, if I want to not listen, you can by the way, you can listen to all of that. I'm talking about transmitting from 40 below. In his case, he has a second antenna, is a dipole. He has a G5RV. He says it works very well on that. That it tunes nice on 80. He even tunes down to 160 with that G5RV. He has no problem with that. My antenna cannot do that. So there's two things I can do. I can get a new antenna, a separate antenna for that, that's tuned from 40 below. Or I know in my case, I haven't tried it. I can, since I have at least 80 feet of wire ready, I can run another, like a radio, a counterpoise. Some people run a lot of radios, like a long wire, almost as long as I have 80 feet of wire, maybe run a counterpoise, 80 feet out, and just throw it on the ground. And try that and see if that helps, and you might have to do a whole bunch of them. In my case, I could try that. The radios. Yeah, I know, but I know it's a good reference. I get it, but I'm not talking about books. I'm talking about, I know you're gonna get it to buy the book, and I'm not talking about buying, whatever. I'm trying to, I'm trying to stress them in theory, from what I gathered. So in my case, I could do two things. I could just buy an antenna that's more resonant to that, but in my case, if I get a G5RV, I'm gonna figure out how to hang that thing up there. It's a challenge for me. I can hang it. It's not gonna be. I'll find a spot for it. But or I could do one other thing. Here's the other thing I could do. Instead of using 80 feet of wire, get rid of that wire, and maybe I'll have to put a longer wire, maybe 120 feet. Who knows why? Throw it up at a higher point of my antenna. But at some point, that's why I always think about experimenting. Because I know there's another channel I watch, Sparkyzilla 85. He has antennas like that with a lot of radios. He uses radios. What I mean by radios is that they're long, just a whole bunch of wires on the ground. Or at least one long wire. Things like that. And you try that and see that works. Now another thing is that from what I heard is that the tuners on these radios. That's why you have to look at every angle. I heard that when you buy these radios, the auto tuners, they're not that good below 20. I mean, yeah, below 20, they're not the best. That you might have to get a dedicated ATU, a more dedicated one that can go below 20 and can be more efficient. That could be my case. I may have to get a separate ATU if I want to use the same wire, because it's long enough. It's 80 feet. But I may have to put a radio. There's different things you can do from what I gather. Okay? So, in your case, since it tunes for 40, it should automatic. I shouldn't say automatically. If your antenna tunes for 40, it should tune for 20. I don't see a problem why it couldn't tune for 20. So I'm going to what he said. RRT08. Your tuner should tune for 20. You shouldn't have a problem with that then. It's usually the opposite. As you go down in the bands, everybody that I know, Jill's, with his setup, he has an end fed that goes out the window. I think it's 60 feet of wire in his case. He does fine on 10 all the way to 20. He does fine. But the minute he goes below 40 is when, especially 80, that's when he has a problem. I think for him it's 80 and below. That's when it can't tune. That's what's happening with me. 40 it struggles. 30 it does it. I did it yesterday. I was testing it. Just a monitor. I did 30, but 40, it struggles. It won't do it. And I'm talking about FT8 40. It won't do it. And so below 40, forget it. No dice. It won't tune. It won't tune. I can even demonstrate it right now. I can show you. It won't tune. It won't tune. Let me put this bottle. You know what? I'll demonstrate. I'll show you. Right now, for example, let me move this. I'll show you. I'll show you. So the fact that your antenna can tune, actually, it's a good thing we ran away time out here. All right. The fact that your antenna can tune 40, it should be able to tune 20. It should be able to tune 20. You just, do you have a tuner? Do you have an auto tuner? Or your antenna's already, or yes, correct, it's tuned for 20. So do you have a tuner? Do you know it's tuned for 20? Or somebody cut it for you for 40 and that was it? How you know it's tuned for 40? That's what I'm trying to find out. Because, for example, let me put my, oh man, the problem is I need a table. Give me a minute. Let me get a table. I need to put this camera right in front of my transceiver. Hold up, I'll show you. I need something to stand on. Give me a minute. Let me use this paint bucket. I don't know if it's gonna be. It's gonna be too short. Damn it, it's gonna be too short. I need something to put there so I can. If not, I'm gonna have to put on a tripod, on a separate tripod. That's gonna take a few minutes. I'm just gonna hold it in my hand. Hopefully, it'll focus. Oh, you bought it for 40. I'm gonna do the problem at this. Okay, I'm gonna do some. You know what I'm gonna do? Give me a minute. Let me screw off this. I know the camera's shaking. I'm sorry. I'm gonna screw up the tripod. I have these little legs here. The problem is it's too high in the camera. Okay, here we go. Just give me a minute. Don't panic, people. Don't say, "Oh, I'm getting dizzy. Oh my God, you're gonna kill me. I'm getting dizzy." Let's see if it focuses now. All right, here we go. Much better. So right now, this is 10 meters. All right. Okay, so you bought it for 40. So do you have a tuner? Does your radio have a auto tuner? This one has an auto tuner built in. That's what I'm going to show you. I'm going to go through the bands. I'm going to show you. This is 10 meters, right? FTA. Right now, if I were to hit this tune button, here you go. Wait a minute, what happened? Oh, sorry. I need to halt it. Sorry. Let me stop that. Let me stop transmitting. I'm sorry. Let me just go right here. You see? So I can tune 10. Now I'm going to jump down to 20. I'm going to jump down to 20. All right? So you see, I can tune 20. And by the way, anything in between I can tune. But now let me go down to 40. Actually, let me do 30. I'll do 30. I'll do 30. Here we go. It's taking a little longer now, right? You see, notice. I'm tuned for 30. Now let's try 40. 40 has not been good for me. So now we're going to go 40. There we go. You see that? You see that? I'm going to do it again. You see that? You can't tune it. You can't do it. You just can't do it. You just can't tune it. Now, I could try certain things. I may try radio, counterpoise, a long wire, see if that helps. Right now, I'm a technician, so I don't transmit here anyway. So, I'm only testing it out. When I get my general, though, I'm going to have to figure that out. Most likely, I'll probably, add radios or something, see if that a long counterpoise wire, see if that can help. But right now, it cannot tune on 40. Let's try 80. Same issue I'm going to have. Okay, here we go. See? Cannot tune. Okay? And we'll try 160. What the hell? Although it's not going to happen anyway. You can see the noise flow is crazy right now. See? Nothing. All right. So let me go back up to 10. And I'll just do this one more. Yeah. No, don't feel the if your antenna is cut for 40, it's long enough that you can do 20 or 10. You just need to tune it. So if your transceiver has an auto tuner, here's the button. You tune. Right, tune. There you go. Right. So now when I transmit, you'll see. Let me put the meter. Let me put the SWR. Let me put the meter. So right now I got SWR meter, so you'll see it. When I transmit, you'll see where my SWR is at. Just give it a few seconds. There you go. So my SWR is 1. Right now it's transmitting. Right now my SWR is what? 1 to 1. 1 to 1. Perfect, right? That's perfect. Perfect. 1 to 1. You just saw that, right? 1 to 1. Right, 1 to 1. It was right here, right? That's 1 to 1. 1 to 5 is right here. This is 3.0. So there you go. Look, 1 to 1. See, it's transmitting right now, right? 1 to 1. Okay. So all you have to do is just, when you go to 20, you got to tune. You got to hit that tune button. That's it. That's all you do. Hope I answered your question. I hope that answered your question. Did I answer your question there? Oh, you got a 7300. Yeah, of course. Then you're good. Yeah. Anytime you switch to a just use low. Just use low power on at first on 20 to check SWO. Yeah. I should have done that, but it's okay. You have a 7300. Yeah. So yeah, when you go to 20, just tune. That's all you got to do. All right. Let me put the tripod. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna leave it there. People are not gonna see my face. People don't want to see my face right now. So yeah, so David Davis saying for receiving, you don't do anything. You don't have to tune. You don't have to adjust the antenna or to listen to every. No, you don't. You don't have to do that. Okay, so for receiving, this only pertains to transmitting. When you see it, when you have a tune function on your, because some people buy this and use it as a receiver, but the tune is only to match. It's only to match your antenna with the radio. Okay, that's all it is. It's kind of misleading when they say tuning. It's actually matching. Now, anytime you go over 3.0, that's when you can. So even if you tune from, uh, anyway, I can't. I don't want to tune on. But anyway, all right. So yeah, you should. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, do that too. Also, just don't do what I did. 100 watts. Just when you first time, because I've done this over and over, so that's why I'm confident that. But yeah, if you're gonna tune, if you're the first time and you're not comfortable with it, just do. But my Zygu also, my Zygu G90 also has an auto tuner, and the same issue with it. Because I go through all the bands, I tested it out. 10, 20, no problem. 30, okay. 30 is good. And then as soon as I get to 40 meters, no go. So my antenna can only do even 6 meters. 6 meters it can tune. Let me see. I'll show you 6 meters. 6 meters. Oh, sorry. Hold. Hold on. Jesus Christ. 6 meters. Takes a little bit longer, but right there, see? Yeah, exactly. I have well, I have it for the Yaesu FT818ND. I have an LDG, the 817. I have the 817 for that one. It's a nice tuner. That one is a very nice tuner indeed. Yeah, and also that's another thing. Exactly. Good point there, RRT08. Dedicated external tuners are going to be better. That might have to be the case. That might have to be the case for me. Maybe I'll just get a dedicated external tuner. But I think for the most part, in my case, I'm probably gonna put a second antenna. Because I always wanted the G5 RV anyway. So not the Oxford Shortwave recommended that. That's what he uses for Okay, let me stop this over here. Okay, what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna close the. Let me just close this. I have to close something first. Let me reopen this. Okay, no wonder. Okay, my bad. My sausage fingers. All right, there we go. All right, so now I'm back. Okay, let me open up Grid Tracker. So yeah, so in your case, Theo, you have a 7300, you're fine. When you go on 20, you just need to tune. Of course, it'll memorize it. It'll memorize it. It should memorize. This one does memorize it. It's just a habit for me. Sometimes if it will memorize it anyway. But me, when I switch to different, you know, okay, let me, Montenegro. Okay, I'm trying to make contact with Montenegro. I see Montenegro. Oh no, that's Trinidad. Anyway, okay, I'll make contact with Trinidad. Yeah. So yeah, don't feel dumb. I mean, yeah, yeah. What happened in theory, if your antenna can tune 40, it should be able to tune 20 with no problem. That's not always the case, but it should. I mean, it will. Okay. Uh, it's the opposite. If your antenna is too short for 90, is not long enough for 40. That's what happened to me. I think what's happening for me is that My antenna is not long enough for 40 and below. So I could address that in a couple of different ways. You know, there's different things you can do. That I even seen a vertical antenna with a coil. You know, because what happens is, like, I even seen the end. By the way, I can still use the same end fed, but I could add a coil in between. They do sell coils. I go all the way down to 160, so it can basically turn my antenna with a coil in between into all the way down to 160. It will tune. It's and you could I could make my own coil, things like that. There's many things you can do. Because in theory, 80-meter antenna is a pretty long wire. I forgot the number. It's way up there. It's not 80 feet of wire. It's a lot more than that. In other words. Okay, I got Trinidad. Yeah, I got Trinidad right there. Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago. Yay. All right. So yeah. So it's not a stupid question. It's a valid question. You know. I learned that early about I learned that you see, when I bought this radio, I thought this was going to tune down to 40 meters with no problem and all that. And nope, same issue. So now I know it's not the Zygu. Because the Zygu is a very good radio when it comes to the auto tuner built in on the Zygu G90 is very, very good. So I noticed this radio did the same thing. It will not go below 40 meters. Nope, will not do it. And that's how I know that it. Well, let me finish this contact here. Trinidad. Okay, so I got Trinidad. Thank you, Trinidad. Trinidad and Tobago. Trinidad and Tobago. All right. So yeah. So I'm glad I answered your question, and thank you RRT08 for helping me out when answering the question. And so this is what I'm talking about. When I say that, when I do live stream, people say, "Oh, you just talk tough." Don't no. People ask questions. We have, I always say it, we have the smartest people in the live stream here. There are very smart people in the live stream. So if I can't answer the question, someone else will. People are going to input. And, he's right. Yeah, so, external tuners are better. A lot more flexibility. So, yeah. Yeah, Theo, in your case, the built-in tuner should be fine. It's usually the opposite. When you have a shorter length antenna and you want to go lower and down to the lower bands, that's when it's more difficult. But the fact that your antenna is already cut for 40, that means you could probably do 80 also with no problem. If your antenna is already cut for 40, 80 meters should be no problem either. So you can go down to 80 probably also. You should have no problem. No, 20 is day and night. Day and night. 20 is day and night. The only band that's not night is 10. Is 10. 10 is the only one that, you could say 12 and 15 but yeah, no, 20 meter is day and night. It's pretty much day and night. I'll be on FTA and 20 meters, late into the evening, it'll still be active. It's 10 meters, the one that's day only, pretty much. Because my license, I cannot go. Oh, I can only do 10 or above. I can do 10. I can do 6. But 6 is not HF. 6 is VHF, actually, technically. So on HF, I can only do 10 on digital and voice. Now on CW, with my license on CW, that means Morse code or CW. I can do. I know I can do. I can do 20. I can do 40. I can do 80. Uh, on CW. I believe there's another band I can do also. So I can do HF on CW, but that's it. At some point I will get my general license. I need to commit time to it and study it, and then you know. Okay, I see El Salvador. Let me click on El Salvador. I'm gonna try to get El Salvador. I got Trinidad. Let me get El Salvador on FT8. Yeah. So that's this is what it's all about. This live stream. You see, it's not always me just blah 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 like the guy wrote yesterday. I just blah 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 blah, and I do FT8 blah 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 blah. It's about connecting with my subscribers and fellow YouTubers. Not everybody that comes into my live stream is a subscriber. I have other YouTubers that, well, I subscribe to their channel too. Anyway, I have many people come on here, from other channels. They're a lot bigger channels than me, that's for sure. I don't claim to be an expert. I just like talking about radios and all things radio and so on. And somebody took away a like. Wow, I had 10 likes. Okay, now I had 10 likes and it went down to 9. Wow. Yeah. Well, yeah, tell me this is, but there is to me, it's also nighttime. Very late into the evening. somebody took away a thumbs up. Wow. As soon as I said it, somebody took away a thumbs up. Oh my God. It's okay. You don't have to thumb up my video. It's okay. Glenn Dansler, Danny, what do you think about the ATS 25 Max radio? I can't afford it, but I have 2 adult children with great jobs. My 72nd birthday is next month, and they want to give me a big present. Yeah, I know you're on a fixed. I know you're on a fixed income, Glenn. I know that. Now I believe the ATS 25 is the same chip that the little tiny radio that I ordered the other day, the SI. Was it SI 4735? What is it called? I have to look it up right now. Let me look it up right. Let me move this back over here for a minute. And 4732. Let me see. SI 47. Yeah, 4732. Yeah, so it's the same chip. Okay, I want to make sure. Okay. Yeah. So of course I bought this one. Oh, sorry. This box is. So I just ordered this one the other day, right? I ordered one of these. So it's the same chip, the ATS 25. I don't own an ATS 25. All right. Let me put it back here. Let me move it away from here a little bit because it's gonna get in the way of my hand. Okay, sorry, hold it. Just right there. I'm gonna leave it right there. So now let me move this thing back over here. Okay, now I can read over here. Well, soon I'm 4 years away from that. I have to wait 4 more years to get mine. So Jim's Radio Check, you're not the only one on a fixed income. Okay, I don't want to shout out what it is. Yeah, it's the same chip. It's the same chip, Glenn. So this is gonna be my first radio with that chip. Now I'm gonna review it. I'm gonna play around with it. I'm impressed by the way it is right now so far. Um, the S the SI 47. Wow, I forgot the number again. You gotta. Sorry. 4732. SI 4732. On that little radio. That little radio does single sideband. That little tiny radio does single sideband, and it does on FM RDS, which is pretty cool for that little tiny radio that does all that. So the fact that I don't own an ATS 25, it's beyond my price range for that type of radio. But that's why I'm buying that little one, the little mini one. I'm buying that little mini one because it looks fascinating and is interesting. And that's why I pulled the trigger on that one. It's the same chip. The same chip. So I'm going to play around with that one. Now, some people really like the radio. Again, I cannot tell you I don't own that radio. I never had it, but I'm going to try the mini one. And I can give you my verdict on that once I receive it. So yeah, it's the same chip. So, some people really like the ATS radio. Now, is it a TF6686 chip? No. From what I hear, if you compare the two, the TF6686 chip is, some people say it's a lot better. I love my TF6686 radio. So if you don't want them, oh no, wait a minute. Sorry. I'm gonna the ATX 25. I can't afford it, but my Twitter have good. Yeah, I would try it out. ATX 25 Max. I would try it out. But yeah, it's the same chip. It's the same chip. So as soon as I get mine, I'm gonna review it. But based on what I saw already on a few videos, it seems to be a good radio for the price. It's a very good radio. Performance wise, it seems to be a good radio. I know Kevin O'Reilly. If you want a more in-depth review of that radio, if you want a thorough review, okay. I was not angry at you. Anyway, I'm gonna Mary Dix. I was not angry at you. I said I was disappointed. That's a big difference between disappointed and being angry. Glenn Dansler, if you want to, I'm speechless right now. Actually, give me a minute. All right, Glenn Dansler. If you want a more in-depth review of that radio, I'm gonna suggest Kevin O'Reilly because he has bought I think a couple of he owned I think two of them, two different types of ATS 25 radios, and he really broke down that radio. He's done like several videos on it. So if you want an in-depth review of that radio, then check out his channel, Kevin O'Reilly. I don't know if you have. I don't know if you subscribe to him. He's been here in the live stream a couple of times. I follow him. I've been following him for a few years now. Okay, so let me put this camera. Let me fix this camera and okay. I'm just putting the tripod back here. I'm sorry. Let me just. I know the camera's shaking all over the place, and sorry about that. All right. All right. This camera's like all over the. Okay, let me fix this thing up good. All right. Okay, I'm gonna stop transmitting here because I guess I'm not gonna. Well, I'm gonna try again. Let me try one more time. Republic of Kosovo. Okay. I read the extra. Danny, you did bad getting angry with me on your last live stream. Friends, don't do that. First of all, I did not get angry at you. I said I was disappointed, and what I mean by that is, and I didn't disclose every little detail about it because it would just be, I would have been like, I don't want to be like overly, and friends don't do that. Well, see, that's the definition of friends that. Let me address that issue, then I'll talk about friends because actually, anyway, let me address one issue first. Now, I only pointed out things that happened in the live stream. One was, and I don't want to name other people in this because now I'm involving other people. So I'm just gonna say I'm gonna use a code. Thank you. You're welcome, Kevin. Glenn, thank you. I pointed out things that happened on the live stream. One big thing was I was going here saying, "Look at the screen, look at the screen." Was when you and Matt were trying to figure out the whole C4FM thing, and it happened to me because I know what happened with me and Matt. We was like figuring out, but at that time, that was the only thing that was going on. You see, what happened with you was the main thing of the live stream in the beginning was to make contact with 10 meters, maybe me again, and me and Jill's making contact on 10 meters and 20 that you guys were going to make contact because you guys had not made a contact at all. I get that, but I feel like when you went to 10 meters, you was only there for a few minutes, and then you was already saying, "Oh, it's not." It was just like, okay, I'm not getting anything. I'm not getting anything. And the thing is that you didn't give it a chance. And that's what I said. And then it got to the point where you got distracted with Matt. Okay. I don't know why but that was a big one. And I noticed your runaway TX was a good almost 10 minutes. And you didn't check it. And you're getting distracted with that. And all this time on 10 meters, I'm calling you and you're, or Joseph's calling you, I'm calling you, we both calling you. I'm gonna get to my point, and we're calling you, but you got sidetracked with Matt with the C4FM, and then when you finally come on, when you finally realize, I'm not getting nothing on 10, you didn't look below, and you see that it was a runaway, the runaway thing. You had it all. You had the runaway thing there the whole time. In other words, you wasn't transmitting. And I feel like you should have said, "Oh my God," because that happens to me all the time. I would have been like, "Oh my God, I wasn't transmitting all this time, so let me try again." And you didn't do that. You said, "Oh, I'm not getting nothing on 10 or whatever. I'm not receiving them on 10," and you just jumped away from it. When you should have realized that you wasn't transmitting for a good 10 minutes. So I felt like you was on 10 meters, according to me, because remember, I only could do 10. You probably gave it maybe a 5-minute chance. Maybe 10 minutes the most chance. If you go look at the live stream. And then, I know, whatever, whatever it is, I don't know what it is that I'm going to jump on this one and, that's it. You should have said, it was my advice. You should have said, "Oh, no, I messed up on the, okay, so there you go. So if you guys, I know you guys had an agreement. That's fine. And that's what I thought about too. I said, listen, I said, well, you know what? He's gonna. The main thing was him and him. Okay, fine. So I was still on 10 doing my thing, whatever. And then if you guys came back and you came back and whatever, but now you understand my perspective. Here's my perspective. I made it my business to be in that live stream early. I was the night before. I was gonna be up all night, and I had other things I was gonna do. But I said, I'm gonna try to make it to the live stream. I'm gonna try to make it to the live stream and see if I can make. Because I really want to make contact with Jills too. I wanted to make contact with Jills because, as you notice, he's never been here. He's never been here. So that was my opportunity to see him here and try to make contact with him. So that was my reason also. Yeah, I had a self-interest reason. I wanted to also make contact with him on 10. Because that's the only band I can do on 10. So when you had him on 10, the problem is that when you had him on 10, again, you got sidetracked and you wasn't even transmitting no more. So not only I didn't see you, he didn't see you. And that was my point. Not only I didn't see you, he didn't see you. And I felt like right there, you kind of dropped the ball. In fact, you kind of didn't drop the ball. You dropped the ball. And that's why I said that. Now, again, I'm going to go back to what I'm saying. That is my opinion. That is called, constructive criticism. I'm not bashing you. I'm not bashing you. I didn't say anything derogatory for you to go ahead and react the way you acted. I'm on WhatsApp. I was gonna contact you on WhatsApp after this live stream. You could have contacted me on WhatsApp. You could say, Danny, what the fuck? Or Danny, what the hell? And I would explain to you on WhatsApp what happened. And my point was, this is your live stream, I understand you're new to the live stream, and I said it. This is a live stream. You need to take control. You need to say, you know what, man, I'm sorry, I can't do this right now. Because C4 FM, you can do any. C4 FM, listen to me. C4 FM, you can do anytime you want. You could have done that at the end of the live stream. You could have done C4 FM. You had a small window of opportunity. Me and you, when we did the contact on 10, we spent like 3 hours just trying to make contact. I was still doing my live stream because I was still doing my other I was always going to be on 10 no matter what. I don't have a choice. I got to be on 10 no matter what. And then you came back after, you took a break or whatever, and you came back and we finally made contact. I felt like you didn't give it enough time, not only for me, but for Jills. And that's my opinion. I'm going to stick to it because that's what happened. I felt like you didn't give 10 meters enough time because, like I said, you got, sidetracked with the, thing. And that's fine. That's fine. And I said that. And then I also made a remark about, well, next time, I don't know if I'm going to do that again because, I felt like I was there and, you weren't paying attention to the 10 meters. You just said, yeah, and that's fine. And that's fine. I'm going to read everything. Don't worry about it. I'm going to read everything. I'm going to read everything. So let me read. I'm not angry at you. I'm not angry at you. I never said I was angry at you. See, that's what happened. You jumped to conclusions. I was, I pointed out what happened and that's it. And listen, as soon as I said that, I knew there was going to be an issue. But I'm being honest. And if that's the problem that I have, I'm too honest, then so be it. I'm too honest. And by the way, when you said friends don't do that, let me tell you something. Friends should do that. Okay, I'll give you an example about friends. Okay. And this is not nothing to do with radio. Here you go. Many, many years ago when I was a young kid, I was a young teenager, I used to hang out with a lot of people around me. And, I call them friends. Literally, I go like this, look, friends. And I was with I won't say the first love of my life, but she was up there. And I was like the first love. A true friend would have came up to me and told me what I didn't want to hear. And you know what, that friend, it took a friend that was not in my circle. It was somebody else that was not even my friend. He said, Danny, you know your girlfriend is cheating on you with someone. Your girlfriend is cheating on you. And I'm not trying to be funny here. It's the truth. By the way, Danny, I know you don't see it, but some of your friends is fucking your girl. I'm gonna say it like that. I'm gonna say it like that. I'm gonna say it like that. And I say, what? I had doing some investigating. And I found out that a couple of people I used to hang out with was banging the chick. Okay? Broke my fucking heart. And I wish I had a friend that was honest with me at that point. So that person that came forward and told me that, he was afraid. He was afraid that, yeah, hey, snitch, whatever. No. He became one of my best. Later on, he became one of my best friends because he told me something I didn't want to hear. That's it. And so when you say friends don't do that, I don't understand that. I'd rather have somebody tell me what I'm doing wrong or what I think I'm doing wrong. Remember, at the end of the day, this is my opinion. Okay, you gotta understand. This is my opinion. It's not, all and be or whatever. You understand? And even if you said, whether you agree or you disagree with my opinion, it doesn't matter. I think you went too far when you delete your channel. I mean, I don't know why. I understand why would you do that? We have WhatsApp. You could have called me up on WhatsApp. You could have said, Daddy, what the fuck? Straight up. What the hell happened? And I would have told you what happened. I would have been, because I don't want to talk about everything here. That's why. There's some things I can't talk about when I'm here because now I'm involving other people and they're gonna get upset or whatever, and whatever. And that's why, maybe my mistake was I should have brought it up with you on WhatsApp and never bring it out here. But it's something I wanted to address. My mistake maybe was I should have just said, you know what? I should have spoke to you on WhatsApp only. So there you go, And I knew as soon as I spoke about it, because I was frustrated. I'm not gonna lie to you, it frustrated me. It frustrated me that I take time and I went into last week because I'm hoping you stick around, at least give it a good chance on 10 meters, and you didn't do that. That's my opinion. You didn't give it a good chance for me and the other channel. And again, if you listen to the live stream, I wasn't being derogatory. I was frustrated. Was I frustrated? I said, yeah, I was frustrated. I said it there. I was frustrated. I wasn't malicious and vulgar. I wasn't any of that. I was trying to be careful what I was saying. Well, I'm glad you didn't delete your channel now. I'm glad you're back. I don't mean to laugh about it, but bygones be bygones. It's okay, bro. Hey, bro. It's okay, bro. I love you, bro. It's okay, bro. Even brothers argue. Brothers argue. I argue with my brother all the time. I can't argue with brothers all the time. It's okay, bro. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry that okay, you know what? I should have just dialed up WhatsApp and said, yo, bro, what's up, bro? But that's why, I'm like Ralph Cramden, bro. Sometimes I got a big mouth. Sorry. I got a big mouth. There you go. I can admit it, bro. I got a big mouth. It's okay, bro. Sorry. All right? There you go. Yeah, don't do that, bro. You scare the fuck out of me. Don't delete your channel, bro. You scare the hell out of me. Don't do that. I don't want to get a technical thing about that, whether the signals got weak. And I was talking about it yesterday, that when there's less people there, That's your chance to really be heard. I said that. Again, that's your opinion, and that's fine. That's fine. That's your opinion. But again, remember, it's your opinion. It's okay. It's okay. We were always friends. We're always friends. Come on, man. I was gonna contact you afterwards. I was gonna wait till you maybe calm down, whatever. After I know there was a reaction. I was gonna talk to you on WhatsApp. Maybe I should have done it before I went on live yesterday. That's my mistake. I admit that. Again, I'm like Ralph Crandon. I have a big mouth sometimes. And I knew it. As soon as I spoke about it, something told me, why did I said this right here? You know? Yeah. Anyway, I'm not gonna read all because it's already, Anyway, the thing is that me and Jill's had an agreement. I know you guys, if we could not do Q on one band and change it. No, I know you want to do multiple bands. I understand that. But my thing is, I wanted to make contact with him. I was hoping that here goes my reason. My reason, I was hoping that you guys could stay on 10 long enough that I could even make contact with him. And the fact is that I heard your grid square and his grid square, both of your grid squares that was being heard. So that means that it was just a matter of time before both of you were going to pop up on my screen. That's all. Yeah, was it for my self-interest also? Yeah, it was. Of course I wanted to make contact with him and that would have been nice. It's not the end of the world, it'll happen. It'll happen. It's okay. No, I know that too. I know he wanted to do QSO for a long time, but anyway, I don't want to go there with that one because that's a whole nother issue there with the another issue with that because it happened here. Same thing. And also you made contact with David from Barcelona, so there you go. Yeah. I'm going to skip a few because we already talked about it. I don't want to read it and rehash. I understand 100% what you're saying, but I decided to change course. No, and that's fine. You entitled to change, of course. Like I understand. The basis of me saying what I said yesterday was I felt like you didn't give 10 meters a good chance. There you go. Have I known that you was gonna give 10 meters maybe a 10-minute chance? To be honest, I wouldn't have been on the live stream because then at that point, I'm being honest with you. At that point, if you're gonna give 10 meters a 10-minute chance and that's it, then at that point, why am I there? Other than say to chat. But I'm talking about in terms of making contact. And I felt like that's the basis of my frustration. And it goes back to what I'm saying, that people just don't understand 10 meters. They just get out of Dodge the minute they see nobody on there. A handful of people there. I don't know. I've been doing 10 meters for 2 years. I know 10 meters. And I know 10 meters better than anybody right now. Here. Right now it's packed. Ridiculous. Ridiculous right now. You see what I'm saying? I know. And even when you was that afternoon, it was evening, it was getting smaller. But when it gets smaller, there's a chance that you're gonna be heard. You're gonna be seen. Because I look at the grid square too, and I see your grid square was there. There was another person with your grid square. So that means a matter of time before you come on. And I'm looking at the DB at the signal. You see? I see the same things. Minus 24, minus 20, minus whatever. I see all this. I just felt like you didn't give it a fair enough of a chance to do that, and that's it. And that's my opinion. I'm gonna stick to it. But you know what? I should have talked to you about it. Yeah, but it frustrated me because I was here like I'm here screaming at the screen. Look at the thing. You're not transmitting. I'm looking at the screen. I'm going, bro. Look at the thing. It says runaway train, whatever that thing is. You know the red. You know when you time out, and you was timed out there for a while, like 10 minutes. You was timed out. And I'm like, stop focusing on this guy. Focus on here. You could do both. That was my frustration. You know? Not that I wasn't angry. It was just frustrating for me because I can't, you know, I should have WhatsApp you right there, bro. You know you're transmitting right now, right? You know? You know? It's okay, bro. And that's all. And that's something you're gonna learn over time when you live stream. Don't let somebody take over the whole live stream. You have to juggle. You have to say, well, you know what? I'm doing this. Give me a minute. That's what I say it all the time here. You know, when I say, oh, you know, I say, you know, don't post, links to post because sometimes I won't post links. A lot of people send me links and all that. Oh, I want you to check this out. No, I can't right now. I'm doing this, and I don't want to lose the stream. I understand you have plans with him to do it for a while. I know that because I seen that on just live stream when you guys go, yo, we'll do QSO and all that. I get that. Yeah, good. We're friends again. We're always friends. What are you talking about? We're always friends, bro. You're my brother from another mother, bro. I love you, bro. You know? And it's okay. You can be mad at me. It's okay. I'm human. You know, listen, we agree, disagree, and that's fine, bro. Don't, because I was gonna check out your channel this morning. I said, oh, let me see why he posted today, or maybe he's doing a live stream early. And the minute I went there, I didn't see you on my first right away. I didn't see you on my channels that I subscribe to. I'm like, what? Where the hell is he at? And then I went into my account to see the members, and it said channel's been deleted. I'm like, what the hell? I said, oh my god, don't tell me because of yesterday. Oh my god, you know, you know, yeah, we're friends, but you know, yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. Next time we'll talk on WhatsApp. I'm not a WhatsApp person. I have WhatsApp, but we'll talk on WhatsApp. Anyway, you know, it's okay. It's okay. It was more on my part. It was just frustrating that. And this is why I was saying when you go to another live stream, in this case, I was like, bro, look at your WSJTX. It's not transmitting no more. It timed out a while ago, and and that's why you're not hearing people. I was like, yeah. No, I know it wasn't just because I wanted to also lack of time. That's why I'm multitasking. Yeah, but don't do that. You live stream when you want to live stream. I know somebody asked you. I asked somebody, "Do you have a schedule?" No, you don't have to have a schedule. Don't do a schedule thing either. If your work requires, for example, me right now, I'm not working right now. I live stream mostly when I want. But at some point, if I decide to go back to work, I'm looking, but I'm looking for what I want to do. And if my job requires me, then that's it. So be it. Then you'll see me at 3 o'clock in the morning when I feel like it. I don't have a set schedule anymore. I'm done with that. I did that in the beginning. Remember in the beginning, you're you are where I was at 2 years ago. At some point, you're trying to find your routine. You're trying to find your routine. You know, and that's another thing. And I said it from the beginning of this live stream. Don't live stream because you want to get viewing. Do it because you really want to do it. You know, that's all. I do live stream because I really enjoy doing live streaming. I don't do it because, but I also do it because I have to do it because this is the only way I get my viewing hours. But I enjoy it. I enjoy it too. Leo just Theo. Let's say Leo. Theo just came here and asked me a question about antenna matching and all that, and I'm glad I answered this question. So this live stream is helpful. It's helpful too. Do I tune the band all the time on this live stream? No, I don't want to do that all the time, man. Right now we're talking. Right now, me and you are talking. We're just talking. But I'm glad you came here. I'm glad you came here. I'm glad you came here and you told me, and I'm glad. I appreciate that. And I'm sorry. I said I'm sorry. I should have. I should have handled it. I should have just called you on WhatsApp. So I apologize for that. I'm sorry about that, Mary DX. I should have, you know, I'm like Ralph Cran. Sometimes I just got a big mouth. Sorry. Jim's radio check. I can't afford to buy any more radio. I'm just going to let. No, I mean you could talk about other stuff. You don't have. That's another thing. Like me, I'm not. Like me. I don't have. I'm not buying new radios. And the very few radios that I got recently is you know, they send me the radio. Uh, but I talk about radio related stuff. So Jim, you don't have to always review radio. This is why you could do a band scan with different radios. Like one day you'll do a band scan with maybe you could do a band scan with this particular model, or do a band scan with this particular model. You could talk about your environment. You could make a video on where you live at. I know some people. I'm giving you an idea. For example, some people don't want to show their apartment or their places for whatever reason. Oh, it's a mess or privacy, whatever. I would show people your little, whatever shack, like your listening area. You see, like when I did the boiler room live stream, I showed people that general area was where I listened to. So, you know, yeah, exactly. Task exactly that too. But you could do like, for example, like when I go on the roof and I show people my outdoor antenna. You could show people like if you live in an apartment, like how you have your antenna out the window. People want to see that stuff. Believe it or not, people see that stuff. You'd be surprised how many views those videos get more than. You could do comparisons. People like comparisons. I don't do comparison because to me they're not really. I just don't do. I may do it in the future. Right now, I'm too busy with live streams. But you could do comparisons. People like that too. People do like comparisons. People ask me for comparisons all the time here. Can you compare your D808 with you know, R109, or PL660, and just tune the same thing? You could do that too. People like that. You see? So you don't have to buy new radios. I'm not buying no more new radios, basically. Although I ordered that SI 4732 the other day. But in general, no, you could do other stuff. You could comparison. But I would this is what I do. I enjoy watching people's listening area. Like for example, Mario DX when he says he made a video about what radios he listens to, what his go-to radios are for each band. Yeah, it is addicting, I know. So he has like videos on, okay, for shortwave listening, I use this radio as my go-to radio. For FM DXing, I use this radio. You know what I mean? For DAB, I have this radio. You know, like he did that video, and that's a nice video because you know people think that people think they have that misnomer that one radio can do it all. No, no. We have go-to radios. You understand? So I enjoy that video that he did, the one with the so he has this radio for this medium wave DXing. He has a radio for this and that. You could do a video like that, Jim. Like when I want to sit down and listen to shortwave, this is my radio. When I want to do some medium wave DXing, this is my radio. If I want to do some FM DXing when I do GMRS stuff, this is my setup here. You have videos for all of that. Those are videos that you can make. And they're not gonna be a 2-minute video. They can be like 5-10 minutes. And those videos will get views because you're talking and you know what I mean? And I think those videos will do fine. So you have to, you hit the wall in terms of buying. I get that. We all go through that. I don't want to buy no more. I have no more space here. Plus, I I have too many now. But I need to go through each one and start making some of them I never made a review on. Things like that, So I have content here for years. If I never buy another radio, I still have content for a long time. You understand? So, yeah, exactly. Same here. Especially if you live in an apartment or a condo or whatever. I can imagine. But yeah, I would show people like, like for example, there's a video that I did years ago when I went to Niagara Falls and I was at a balcony, my hotel balcony. And I made a video just listening to my weather radio on the hotel balcony, and then I showed the view from the hotel. And people like to see those videos. People like to see, like not only the reception, but where you are. Oh, he's on vacation, and he's taking a few minutes. He's not doing. They're not going out somewhere. They're at the hotel room. So I'm listening to my radio. Yeah, 980 square feet. Yeah, 985 square feet. Yeah. So you could do videos like that, like just your setup, your go-to radios, your listening station, in an apartment, because a lot of people want to know that too. By the way, Jim, not everybody lives in a house. Not everybody lives in a house. Not everybody has acreage or a lot of square footage. Some people want to say, "Oh, you have an antenna out the window. How you put your MLA 30 out the window, or how you throw the wire out the window, or people want to see that. People want reassurance that too. That he can do it, I can do it. I live in this apartment. I live on the 14th floor of this apartment. And it's a condominium. It does have a balcony though. What can I listen to up here? And then you'd be surprised. You want to listen to a shortwave, you have an MLA 30 just right on the balcony. Or you can throw a long wire out the window. Or you know what I'm saying? And when you film that, you talk about this is that's it. Modest setup, whatever. People want to see that. It doesn't have to be a shack with high-end radios and all that. It doesn't have to be all that. You have content. You just yeah, exactly. I'm glad you yeah, I would try different things because I'm interested in that. I like to see other people's location and see how they listen to, like for example, I know Bobby Burgess. I know he said he has an MLA 30 in his window, but he never made a video on that. Like I would like to see a video on that. Like if you live in, for example, if you live in a mobile home or what they call one of those. I'm gonna call them trailer. They're not trailer. There's something else. There's another name for it. It's like a double wide. They have different names for it. No, not an RV. It's not an RV. It's a house, but they don't build it there. They actually bring it there. And what they do is they put it there, and they just hook up the gas to it and the plumbing and the electrical, and that's it. But the house is built somewhere else. It's like, yeah, like a modular house. It's another name for it, but it's like a modular. They had a lot of those in, you know, like for example, Florida. Some they have places where they just bring the house and put it there. And the foundation is usually a concrete slab, and they put it right on top of the concrete slab, and of course they secure it, and that's it. And the crawl space is underneath right there, and then they put a little fencing around the crawl space. So like those houses, for example, I think I don't know, I want to say that I know he showed one video that his house is like that. So I'm curious, right? You could put an antenna right there because it's not HOA. You know, that's not an HOA place. So you can, I wonder if you put the MLA 30 right outside the window, things like that. I don't know. You know, like when I went to Florida, you saw for example, when I went to Florida, remember I had the MLA 30 around the house, and that was a HOA. I was a HOA, but you saw I had the antenna behind a hedge. There was a whole bunch of hedges that separate the house, the house where I was staying at, and the neighbor's house. And it's behind a hedge, and I had the MLA 30 there on a broomstick, very low key. You could barely see it from outside, from across the street. You can't see the MLA 30 because I had the original wire on it. You know, the original MLA 30. You can't see it. And then I had the little wire going into the garage. Then I had the extension into the room where I was staying at. It was very incognito. And you saw that video, and that video got I think it has over 1,000 views or something. That video, just showing them that okay, this is my MLA 30 set up here. The expedition, I call it the expedition because when I went to Florida, and people like seeing that. They do well, Jim. They do well. They do better than what you think they do. People like seeing that stuff because some people need ideas. Some people have ideas, but they don't see it in a video or even in a. So when you present them, they go, "Oh man," because like in my case, I did it in an HOA. I had a skinny broomstick. I used that to put the MLA 30 in, and I could have even done more. If that would have been a permanent setup, I could have painted the MLA 30. The maybe put something on it and say, "Oh no, this is just a bird." What do they call it? A bird, like a place where the birds can, you know. So I was showing people. I said, "No, this is an HOA," and I had it there for about a week, and nobody complained. And then I took it down. Then when I came back home, I had it for about a week. I think it was like 5 days we were there. But those videos do well. They do well. So let me go back up here and catch up. Excuse me. Let me drink some water. Okay, let me turn this back on here. All right, so we're all good here now. One big happy family. One big happy family. Yeah. Let me go back up here. Hello, Tasso. Good. What is it? Oh, still morning. Good morning. It's 11:23 here. Okay. Good morning, Tasso. Yeah, Tasso. Exactly. And that too. Come on when you can. Don't. I do the same. Don't. Now again, if you want to be monetized, then you have to upload something. At least I think it's every 30 days or every. And I know, and if you're not gonna do, I'm just saying. So and I know you have that other channel too, which is a good channel. You have that uh toy diecast stuff. I just upload. I'm gonna upload some more videos on my diecast collection channel. I'm enjoying that channel. I'm over 300. I think 300 subs there now. Danny's diecast collection. I got a whole bunch of stuff right here. It's on that chair right there that I have to go through. A whole bunch of Hot Wheels stuff, Matchbox. I got planes. I got a few planes in there, die-cast metal planes that I have to unbox and showcase. I got content there for my die-cast collection right there. Isn't that behind that chair? And I went through my son's toys recently and I have them in boxes. So I'm gonna go through old stuff too. Old stuff. I have a lot of stuff on the diecast collection to do. I just uploaded a few videos on the Danny model trains. I made a video on that. You see the street cars? 2 street cars, right? The HO scale. I got the box right there. Let me show it like that. Oh, sorry. I just made a video on that on Danny's model trains. There you go. That's the box. So I go to I do other stuff on other channels, and those are, of course, those are not monetized because they're not. One day they might be monetized. Right now, this is the only channel that I gotta really be here, at least live streaming, because it's monetized. And if I want to make any money, this is the one. And I chose this. I chose this. I want to make something. I want to make some money. It is satisfying when you actually get paid for something you created, Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so anyways, talking about John, yeah. So for quite a while, I thought maybe yes, you can do comparison videos. That's cool. It is addicting, though. That's true. Thank you, Tasso. You and Danny are my go-to channels for radio. Really, thank you. Tasso, we're all human and on this YouTube journey together. But above all, I'm grateful for the questions. Same here. I'm grateful for everybody. I love every single one of you. You guys are the best, man. I always say in this live stream, I got the smartest people that I ever met on this live stream. Wait a minute, this right there. My sense of direction is okay. This way, live stream. Okay, there goes my chat. Let me get closer. There goes my chat. It's everybody's. Even here, space is taking over. That's why I think the next day. That's why I started my chat. Well, the Model Railroad channel. I'm gonna talk about. I'm gonna actually what I'm gonna do in there is I'm gonna reclaim space in the garage. Here you go. Spoiler alert. I want to reclaim space in the garage. I want to build a layout there. And then I think once I could establish that, who knows, my shack might wind up there. The rest of the stuff might wind up there. There, I have plenty of space. But before I do that, I have to. The garage needs a lot of work, including some insulation, including some ventilation. I have to put a new window. Even the garage doors may eventually gonna have to be replaced. So there's a lot of work for that. But yeah. So you guys are talking among yourselves there. Yeah, so I would do stuff like that. No, because I don't got the viewing hours. On Danny Finance or on Retro Gaming, nowhere near for viewing hours. And that would take a lot of live. That would take a lot to do to get those up there. I'm not even. I'm about a quarter. Retro Gaming, I'm about a quarter of the viewing hours. For Retro Gaming. For Danny Finance, I have a long way to go. Even though I got subscribers and all that. But the viewing hours, no. Now, when I do live streaming, I notice it goes up. So I need to do more live streams on those. But I'm gonna wait till well soon. I need to do I think I might do a schedule just for those. That way I could try to bring up the viewing hours on those. I think those two, if I do one live stream every week, Here, I'll just do whatever, because I come in here anytime. But if I do those at least once a week, it'll take a few months. I think I'll get them monetized. But, I have to finish this thing because I want to set up a studio for everything. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do like a studio now for everything, for the most of the channels. Like DIY Danny, that's outdoor, that's working in the garage, that's whatever. So that don't need a studio. I'm talking about Danny Finance, Danny Retro Gaming, and this channel. They need to be indoors for live streaming, for like a studio, in a setting. But some other channels like Danny Model Railroad right now and Danny Rail Fan, that's out there. Rail fanning is out there. I just go outside and record video. If I'm traveling, I see a train or a trolley or whatever, I record it. Or if I go to a train museum, like in that video, I went to a train museum. You see that video, Danny Rail Fanning. That one, I went to a train museum. So far, that one, I've done the train museum. When I went to Florida on the Amtrak, I made a video on that and going down to Florida. So that's in that channel, Danny Rail Fan. So I have stuff like that there. Now, Danny Model Train is about model trains. So that one is going to be, I'm going to build a layout. I'm going to lay out the track. I'm going to go through my collection. I have a whole bunch of trains I want to go through. Different locomotives, rolling stock. I have all types of rolling stock. Some of it is Bachman. Some of it is Tyco, the old Tyco brand. Tyco trains. Those are very old. They're from the 70s. I got trains from the 70s. Tyco trains. Athearn, that's another brand that I have. I have Lifelike brand trains, rolling stock. Then I have a holiday train that's collectible. It's from the Franklin Mint. I got that one. That's very expensive. HO scale. And then I have the different lines. I have I have Conrail. You remember Conrail? Here in the Northeast, Conrail. Of course, I got Amtrak. I have New Jersey Transit train. I have a New Jersey Transit commuter trains. I have New York City Transit subway car. I have one subway car for the New York City Transit. I plan to get more in the future. Of course, I have these cars now. These are both street cars. One is a street car from New Orleans. The other one is a cable car from San Francisco. So one is a cable car, and one is a street car. The street car is the one with the electric pantograph thing that sticks out, and it touches the wire. So that green one, and you got to watch the video. I'm not going to bring the box. You got to watch the video, so I want somebody to go watch the video. The green one is from New Orleans. They have that car in New Orleans. It's a street car. It's like a trolley. And some people call it trolley. It's a street car. Then the other one, of course, is a cable car. And that's in San Francisco. I actually rode that. When I was in San Francisco, I actually rode a cable car. Not that line. There's three separate lines in San Francisco that do the cable cars. So cable car, what it is there's a cable underneath in the street, and it pulls the train. Single car. It pulls it. So underneath, you'll see a little opening, and you see a cable. And the cable actually pulls the train. So if you ever go to San Francisco, I definitely will ride one of those. Very historic. Those are old. They've been around since the turn of the century. Well, not the turn of this century, turn of last century. Excuse me, 1900. Cable cars. So yeah. Excuse me. So yeah. Yeah, that's pretty cool too, Glenn. Glenn. Sorry. Jim. I did a video not too long ago on how to program the channels on my internet radio. Yeah, that's good. So a lot of people are interested in internet radio. I wish Shongyang would send me one. I really don't want to buy one, but I wish they would have contacted me and send me one, and that would have been nice. Because it kind of radio is kind of growing on me now. A lot of people, with all these updates they're having now, the Shongyang LC90, it would be a nice internet radio to have. I do listen to internet radio all the time. I listen to it through my phone. Last night I was when I went to bed, that's what I listened to. There's a particular channel that I listen to at night on a Friday night. They have a certain programming that I listen to. I listen to that. I listen to Cuba, like Cuban stations on streaming. I listen to that. I listen to all types of internet radio. I listen to a lot of stuff, internet radio too, and nothing wrong with that. I listen to mix AM, FM, internet radio. I listen to also. So I don't have any internet radios. I don't have any dedicated internet radios right now. Only that receiver will have internet radio, the one behind me, the Yamaha, but that one doesn't work anymore. They discontinued that, and there's no more updates on that. So, but and I thought about buying one recently. I just never. But I'm definitely interested in that Sean Young LC90. I do like that one. And so far, Jules loves that radio. A lot of people like that radio. They are working on updates on it all the time, which is good. They're not just resting on their laurels and that's it. They have been updating that radio. That radio first came out. Remember that radio didn't even have single sideband, and then they updated it. They put single sideband, and then now they updated it again, and now they put RDS on it. So I like the fact that the company is doing that. That they're not just put the radio out there and that's it. They're actually improving the radio through firmware updates, which is nice to see. So the same thing with the TEF 6686 radio, the silver radio that I have. I need to check it. There's an update on that because I'm sure at one point they might put maybe they'll put single sideband one day on it. I don't know, or even I don't know about the airband, but at least single sideband would be nice. Would be nice through firmware update. Like a radio that I just ordered, the SI 4732, the little mini one. That one has a single sideband. That little radio, it has a single sideband, and it has RDS. I didn't know about the RDS until I saw a video right after I ordered it, and the guy demonstrated it on the video. He was tuning on the FM band, and he went to a BBC station, and right there the RDS was displaying. Right there. So that little radio does all that. It's pretty amazing. If a little radio that small for around around $25, a little radio does all that. So of course I checked mine last night and they haven't shipped it yet. So I'm still waiting for them just to ship it out. They haven't shipped it yet. So as soon as I get that radio, I'm definitely gonna make videos on it. I'm gonna play around with it, and I'll make a review on it. It's a very interesting radio, and there's not a lot of videos on it. There's a few videos on it now, but not a lot on it. So I would like to make a real in-depth review on it. But I'm gonna tell you right now, the fact that the price is so low, I will, and for what I seen the videos on. It's worth buying because it's a small radio. Any radio that's that small and does single sideband is that small. It's small. It does single sideband. And RDS, come on. They raised the bar. They raised the bar because it is under 20. It's $25. Give or take $25, and I bought mine with the donut antenna. It was the total. I paid $29.72. on AliExpress. So imagine. So under $30, I get the radio with the donut antenna. I mean, you can't beat that for a radio that has a single sideband and RDS. I mean, the PL 330 is how much? How much is a PL 330? It's not $29. You know, so the fact that that little radio can do that is amazing. Of course, the PL 330 is you can do airband, right? Tassel, right? You can do airband on the PL 330. I mean, PL 330 is a much better radio, but still, the fact that that little radio can do that was amazing. It's pretty cool. So even what I want to do a review is I want to test out the battery life on it. I heard the battery life is not the best. It has a little flat battery in it. It looks like it's a flat battery. It looks like a credit card size battery. It's a little like one of those old cell phone batteries. When you open it up, it has a small battery. So I heard the battery life is not the best. It's only maybe 4 hours or 5 hours on that radio. So it's a few hours. I don't know if it's 4 or 5 hours. I heard it could be up to 10 hours, but I'm not sure. I think realistically, it's like 3 or 4 hours. Like the Malahit radio, the battery life on that is not that long. It's like I've been using it lately. I've been playing around with it. I charged it up. I hooked it up to the U loop in the boiler room. The battery life, I could tell you, is about 3 or 4 hours. That's it, maybe 3 or 4 hours. The problem I have with the Malahit is that it's not a very sensitive radio. Like, for example, I hooked it up to the U loop a couple of nights ago, and I wanted to hear 820 WNYC, which is a local station here. And at first it sounds fine, and all suddenly I hear like this interference, I hear like a ringing sound, and it does that every time I tune to that station. And I'm like, why is it doing this ringing sound? It's annoying, and it only happens on that station. Now, if I put on WABC, which is a more powerful station, there's no problem there. If I go down to the WOR, there's no problem there. But if I put on WNYC 820, being that it's not a 50,000 watt station, I think it's 10,000 watts. All of a sudden, it'll play for a few seconds, like no issue. All of a sudden, I get a ringing sound. I have to make a video and demonstrate and show you. It's a weird ringing sound in it, and then the audio gets distorted. So I don't know what it is. I don't know if it has to be an issue with the radio at that point. And things like that is what drive me nuts about that radio. I like the the waterfall thing, whatever the display is nice, and that's why I keep saying it's gimmicky but the performance is not, compared to other radios that are a lot less expensive. And remember, I paid $200 for that radio. I paid $200. I paid about 200, and I think total was almost two. It might have been about $230-ish, $100 total. And that's the clone one. That's the Chinese clone one. That's the one that Jill's has, the same one. And it has good things on it. The noise reduction is probably the best that I ever out of all the radios. That's one good thing I give it about it. The noise reduction feature really works well. But I feel like it lacks in sensitivity. If I put it on, for example, yeah, Tassel, I'm very pleased with my little PL3. Yeah, it is a good radio. I forgot my train of thought here for a minute. Oh, I got somebody contacting me now. Yeah, but that's the problem I find with this radio is the sensitivity. And that annoying issue with 820. Because that's my BBC World Service after midnight Because that 820 is the local NPR station here, WNYC. So at midnight, at midnight, it starts playing BBC World Service. So when I want to listen to BBC World Service, I just put it there, 820. I listen to BBC World Service. Also 93 point, no, yeah, 93.9. I could have done that. But I wanted to tune in on medium wave. Yeah, you're right. I could have done it on FM. If FM would have been fine. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I forgot that they also on FM. And I didn't think about that. But I like to tune in on AM because I just like to, and that's why I tried the mono hit, and but they do play different programs on each one. So after midnight, it's not BBC World Service. It's every night. BBC World Service is on WNYC. That's every night. Doesn't matter. 7 days a week. It's always midnight to about 6, right? Midnight to 6 a.m. is all BBC World Service. I don't listen to the local stuff. I don't listen to because some of it is once in a while I take that back. On a Saturday, sometimes I listen to some of it, but I haven't heard it in months. What is the name of that? It'll come to me. Sometimes I'll listen to that, and that sometimes it's okay. But of course, they are very lefty and all that. And, okay. Oh, so you're talking about during the day. So yeah, let me see. Okay, so during the day, yeah. Tasso, but they do play. I heard just read that. Okay. Danny, believe me, I'm in the same. I know I can listen to WYNS 92.3, but same thing. Of course, I can. And sometimes I put it on FM, but I'm used to AM. I'm used to putting it on AM because originally that's what it is. 10-10 wins. It's 10-10 wins. You know. Yeah, I like the static. I like the noise and the. Exactly. To me, it's 10-10 wins. He's not. That's the way I know it. I grew up on 10-10 wins. Not 92.3. You know? Same thing with WNYC. To me, it's 820. You know? And then, yeah. I know. Well, that's not as different because that's the whole. They changed the whole format. Yeah, 880 will always be. Although I found myself I tuned it a couple of times recently. 880. I tuned it recently because I was watching. I was trying to keep track of the score of the college football playoff. So I tuned it there. All the NFL. All the NFL. The NFL playoffs now. I'll tune it there. So I didn't completely, not listen to it. I listen to it once in a while. Not long, but just a few minutes here and there, and you know, a few minutes here and there. Yeah. Meredith said, "Yeah, I like static too. Nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I like the static. That's the thing about radio. Like some of us like to hear the static, especially when I'm listening to a distant station. I hear the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. It's coming in and out. I love to listen to all that. I was listening to Cuba the other day. I put on 640, and I started hearing Cuban music. I'm like, oh, they're playing nice Cuban music. I left it there. I was using my TEF 6686 hooked up to the U loop, and I started hearing Cuba. I started hearing Radio Progreso. Radio Progreso. So I hear the music, and then I hear the radio host, and I recognize that voice. I say, yeah, this is Cuba. This is Cuba. And then well, not that night, but when I hear the interval signal, I love the interval signal. I love the interval signal for Radio Progreso. I love that signal. I wish I could sing it, but I'm a horrible singer. I sing it sometimes I actually sing it when they play the interval signal. It's an old Cuban song. It's not Guantanamera, it's not that, but it sounds like that, but it's not that. And then you hear Radio Progreso, Territorio Libre de América. And then you hear dum 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 dum. I love to listen to that. I you know, interval signals I love to listen to them. So when I hear that one, I'm like, yeah, this is lately I've been watching videos on Cuba. I've been watching like walkthrough. You seen those videos? They call them walkthroughs, where the guy, just walking through the streets. I'm really thinking about doing that for my Danny show. Just start walking through neighborhoods. I think when the weather gets warm, because I need to lose weight, I'm gonna just start walking through neighborhoods with my phone. Eventually, I'll get a GoPro. I'll walk through neighborhoods, and then if I travel, yeah, you should do that too. Walking, yeah, exactly, yeah, exactly. There you go. Same here. So lately I've been watching Cuba, and I'm like, man, I want to travel to Cuba. I always wanted to travel to Cuba because it reminds me of Puerto Rico. Cuba reminds me of Puerto Rico so much, especially Old Havana. Have you ever been to Puerto Rico? Old San Juan is like Old Havana, the same architecture. Because remember, they're both Spanish colonies. Same architecture, cobblestone streets. You go back in time when you walk in those streets. You go back in time. Those houses were built in like 15 when Columbus was there. Christopher Columbus. He was the governor of Puerto Rico. He was the first governor of Puerto Rico. I believe. I don't know if he was the governor also of Cuba, or it was a time that he might have been. But yeah, it's. I love to look. See that. It remind me of where I was born. So I love walkthroughs. So I'm thinking about, man, I should do a walkthrough. So I'm doing walkthrough videos on my Danny show. So I love to walk. That's one thing. I know you don't notice that now, but I enjoy walking. I love walking. I think walking, when you're a tourist and you walk, forget about paying cash to go here and there. When you walk, you see a lot. You see a lot of little places, a lot of little, little stores that are, Okay, Christopher Columbus was governor of the Indies from 1492. He was also the governor of colony of Santo Domingo. He was also, I know he was the first governor of Puerto Rico. That I know too. I believe he was also the first governor of Puerto Rico. From what I remember of Puerto Rico. So, but I don't know why. I don't know because I know the governor of the Indies, but I believe so. Maybe because he was governor of the Indies, governor of Puerto Rico also. So I guess he was governor of all of the islands at once. Because then I know it's when you go to San Juan, they have a big statue of him, and it says it right there to the plaque. There's a big statue of him right there in San Juan, and there's a plaque, and it says first governor of Puerto Rico. Probably, yeah, all at once. And but when you go there and you walk down the streets, the old San Juan, it's just like Havana. When you look at this, they look the same. Because remember, 1898, Spanish American War. Spain lost to the United States, right? The United States defeated Spain. So When Spain surrendered, they said, okay, the United States decided, okay, we're gonna keep Puerto Rico for us. Cuba, since remember Cubans also fought along the Cuban revolutionaries, the independents, the ones that were seeking independence, fought alongside the Americans to beat the Spanish, to beat the colonizers. So United States said, you know what, Cuba, you're an independent nation. The only part of Cuba that didn't move out of was Guantanamo Bay. That part of Cuba is they did not. They said except for one area, Guantanamo Bay. We want Guantanamo for military. We want to have one garrison in Guantanamo. Today, of course, that's Gitmo. That's Gitmo today. Gitmo. We call it Gitmo. And Puerto Rico, when they were liberated, when I say liberated, I mean Spanish colony, Spanish left the Spain colony. So Puerto Rico never became independent. It was, as soon as Spain left, it was colonized by the United States. So it went from one colony, from one. So it became territory of the United States, United States territory. To this day, that's what it is. So of course, we have the U.S. dollar and all that. We're basically pretty much it's almost like a state, except there's a couple of things that like we don't have a senator. We do have representative, but we don't have a senator. There is no senator. Of course, they want to change that in the future. They want to make Puerto Rico into a state one day. So but I don't know if it's ever going to happen. Of course, there's some people in Puerto Rico that wanted to be independent. They want total independence. I don't know how well that's going to work out. You saw the news the other day that Maduro was talking about invading Puerto Rico. Did you hear that one? Nicolas Maduro, the leader of Venezuela, wants to invade Puerto Rico. They want to invade. He said, we're going to invade Puerto Rico. That won't happen. They want to invade Puerto Rico. They're going to come in there with Venezuelan troops and take over Puerto Rico. Good luck on that. That won't happen. Yeah. So I thought about walkthroughs. Walkthroughs are I watch them. I watch them. I love watching them. Now, if you do a walkthrough, that'd be interesting. I'll watch it. Tassel. First, you can start like I'm going to do. I'm probably going to start with my local neighborhood in Yonkers. I'm going to start walking around in Yonkers. I'm going to walk around Yonkers first. Then I'm going to start branching out back into the city. Because, of course, I got to get back into shape. It'll be like Argentina and the Falklands. Yeah. It won't last long. It wouldn't last. First of all, the Falklands, anyway, yeah, it's not going to happen. Because I was watching a video on the Falklands the other day, actually. What happened was the Falklands at that time, I believe England, Margaret Thatcher, they were doing cutbacks on the military. They were doing cutbacks. So, at that time, the Falklands were already on the chopping block in terms of like military presence. Like they had a very minimal, they only had a couple of troops there, like nobody. They had like a few people. Not what they have today now. They put a new base there. Now there's a military base there and all that. But back then, it was just maybe a small garrison. That's it. Something like that. So, of course, when Argentina went in there, they went in there and, but that was short-lived. Because remember, they had the help of the United States. So Reunion Island, right? So what the British did, they would go to Reunion Island and refuel and all that, and then from there, because that's a long That's a long trip from England all the way to the Falklands directly. They needed an area where they could refuel, and so United States at that time, I think not only United States, well, United States, and so we said, no, you could use Reunion Island. Here you go. Oh yeah, even better. And then the rest is history. You know, and I believe it was Reunion Island. I saw the documentary like a couple of weeks ago. But what happened was that, so I, of course, basically, they defeated the Argentinians, of course, and there was a surrender and all that. They had it right. They had to change the wording because they put unconditional surrender, and the Argentinians didn't like that word, so they said, okay, it was gentlemanly about it. It wasn't no, and then that was it. And then now of course to this day they still claim it's theirs. It's still that whole thing, but now the British, the English. Now they fortified it. Now there's a base. Now there's a runway there. There's a big airfield there now and everything. Now it's like it's fortified now. Of course, they spent a couple of years or so removing some landmines and all that. Because what happened was when the Argentinians went, they mined the whole place up. And of course, part of there's an agreement with the Geneva Convention that what happens is when a country puts a lot of mines and all that, landmines. Of course, over there, a lot of landmines failed because of the cold weather. Some of them actually froze. Yeah, this is fascinating. The whole thing about it. It was So of course they had to demine the island. The island, excuse me. They had to demine. So it took a few years. I think it took a while. Maybe it took almost 15, 20 years to really clear up all the mines, all the landmines that were, you know. And I think now also they finally made them like full citizens. I think they were not like full citizens of England or something. Now after that happened, I think now they're full citizen and all that. So now that's considered like, you know, I think it was neglected. That's what happened. I think what happened was it was neglected, and they just went in there and took it, and they didn't think they were gonna claim it back. And said no. So yeah, but yeah, that wouldn't happen in Puerto Rico. No, uh, I know in Puerto Rico there's a few military bases in Puerto Rico. There's a big one in the east coast of Puerto Rico. It's called Roosevelt Field. Roosevelt Roads is a big military air base there. So there's a big base there. And then you got Vieques, which is an island outside of Puerto Rico. And there, I think finally the Navy left it. The Navy used to use the island for bombing practices. But now, after many years, they left and they clear up the island. So now, they're in the process of, they still, to this day, they're still getting rid of old unexploded ordnance, like because they use that for bombing practice. So there's parts of the island you have to be careful in Vieques. It's called Vieques. It's a little island right outside. It's on the east coast of Puerto Rico. There's a little island right outside of it, and that island was used for a lot for bombing practice and artillery, I think. So there's residents that live there. So part of the island was so now they're in the process of clearing all that out, and someday the whole island will be clear because there's some unexploded ordnance that are still there. So there's some areas that you cannot walk by. It's dangerous. It's cordoned off. And I never visited Vieques Island. If I ever go back to Puerto Rico one day, I would like to visit that island. It's a very small island outside of the coast of Puerto Rico. So I think I'm gonna log off now. Thank you everybody for watching. I've been on for 3 hours and 15 minutes now, approaching. I'm glad to see everybody here. I know Jill's gonna be on official SWO channel around 3 o'clock Eastern, I believe. I keep forgetting what time, if it's 3 o'clock Eastern. So I'll probably be on there later. Right now I'm just gonna eat some lunch, and then I'm gonna do some cleaning down here. And that's why I decided to do it in the morning. And the rest of the day I'm gonna relax and clean, and in the weekend I have to do some cleaning down here. So thank you for watching, everybody. I'll see you soon. Have a great weekend. Take care, everybody. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. Bye-bye.